Whoever
like,
stopped
okay.
you is an asshole.
It's a good welcome to the game type of strategy right there.
I mean,
like,
that's not how you teach a person to enjoy a game. You're like, ah, yes, welcome to the game. You can't play the game.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's session of.
Wait, that wasn't live, was it? Oh no.
Yeah, it was. As long as is the stream? Yeah, it's cooperating. Either way, I'm still getting used to the new setup. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Edge of Despair, our Star Wars tabletop role-playing game series thing on this channel. In the last episode, we broke away from the wheel. We flew away. We didn't break away.
We rolled away, really.
We rolled away from the wheel. The wheel came rolling on after us. We are looking for the Narsha lore, not the Lartian Nor, as it was. Is it
Look,
the
it
Narsha?
has many names. Most of them involve me mixing up the Na and the Shah. And let's move on.
We're going to Narshada. But yeah, so
I don't want to go there. It's a terrible place.
we are looking for some treasure, essentially.
Yep.
Joining me, as always, is the rest of the intrepid crew of the Avidon Hale as we approach the end of our journey. We have so skillfully playing Waldern until it comes time to roll. We have
Wait, I'm
Slever.
sorry.
That's some deja vu. I thought I heard that last time.
You did. Yours is just the most easy intro because it's always the same.
Okay, fair enough.
We have the man who loves to fist.
I'd like to point out with this introduction that you use intrepid to describe us, which, according to the dictionary, is what?
Is what?
We're fearless. I
We
don't
are
think that's
fearless.
accurate. No.
You'll soon find out when you reach Chalgana if you're fearless.
And our final metallic and well-behaved crew member is inertial as Vernon.
I don't know why you say it like that. Vernon's always a perfect gentleman.
Can't believe they went to the wheel without gambling. All right, listen.
And the person who's going to get us killed with hordes of Nexu tonight, Evil Bob the Bob.
Hello.
I'm beyond pretending you are merciful or graceful as I have in every previous introduction. This is when shit gets real. Me and my Smirnoff Ice are going to survive this journey.
I didn't know you drank horse piss.
Gladly do.
Thank you, Bob.
Anyway, last time you guys all discovered that all your shenanigans in the core have come back to bite you, as all of your obligations got rolled into one giant bounty. Except for Vuz. Vuz is still. I mean, he has a bit of a bounty, but mostly he still has just his Solonian disgrace. But yes, and Waldern's now bounty obligation to Avcam got rolled, and so everybody has one less strain threshold, except for Walden, who has two less strain threshold. Lucky Walden.
Woo!
Could all of you roll Destiny, please, to start this?
All dark.
Wonderful.
Dark. Too late.
Which?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the table. Hold on.
Step it up, guys.
Hold
Jesus.
on. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong key. That's why. Too dark. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, at the end of last session, you guys had left the wheel, as Corey had mentioned. You left the wheel successfully after getting the droid that Roam asked you to get. You picked the droid up, managed to save him from these Rhodians, implicate them in all of the crimes that they had committed, and skedaddled. So you also managed to find and reprogram the tracking beacon that was added to your ship. You still don't know by whom. And you also obtained full plans for the Narsha lore, I believe. You have a nice schematic of the ship, and you also have a boost for your hyperspace jump to Chalgana. Now you have two options. You can follow the Narsha lore's flight plan, down the Polemian and go to the end of the Polemian and take a right turn towards Jorgana, which is the current green route you have marked on the map. Or you can take a direct jump to Jorgana. So obviously following the flight plan of the Narshal will take you somewhat longer. You estimate maybe 3 days, whereas directly jumping to Jorgana may only take around 2, depending on how well you roll. So make your choices.
We've taken this trip up to Pakuni before, so I think we can probably risk a little bit here.
Don't we have a discover the hyper route in this area?
Yes,
From
so
a
you have
while
an
ago?
extra boost. You have a boost to the astrogation check.
Now, in addition to that, this was several sessions ago.
Oh, well, yes, but that was, again, in the Pakuni area as...
Okay, so it wouldn't
So
be relevant.
again, that would be another boost, probably.
Okay.
Because Pakuni and Cholgana are... Cholgana is basically in the middle of nowhere. It's effectively in wild space. About as close to wild space as you can get, while still being charted. So... Yeah, I would say it's up to your astrogator, which is a small, fuzzy man.
I don't think our
droid.
R2 unit is fuzzy, but we'll give it a shot. So, I think speaks binary. Oh, god damn it! Per boost, grant them 1 boost per rank of speaks binary. I have 2 ranks in speaks binary. So I'm gonna get him to do it. So 3 ranks in astrogation, which I think makes it 2 proficiency, 1 ability.
Yep.
And then I have 2 boosts from me, and then an extra boost from the stuff before.
Yep. So if you want, so what's the plan? Do you want to go to direct to Cholgana?
Waldron?
That will be daunting. If you want to take the Polemian, then jump to Cholgana, that will be average, then hard.
Waldron, are we going straight there, or are we just taking stops places?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, let's try and go straight there. Let's try and go straight there.
It's daunting, so is that
4.
5 or 4?
That's 4 difficulty.
4?
And I'm going to flip a destiny point and upgrade that once. To represent the dangers of hyperspace travel.
To represent you being a dick is actually what
Did we
it
get
is.
pulled out of it by like a space horror? What the hell? The dangers.
An interdictor.
It ain't Dustin Crops, kid.
Oh my goodness.
Despair!
And we fly into a sun. Thanks for coming, everybody.
A destiny point well spent.
How?
Okay, so you drop out of hyperspace
Don't do this.
in the middle of the Chol Nebula. And your sensors start blaring with alarms.
Oh god, what do we do?
And your sensors get blinded by the nebula. You start to hear small rocks hitting the outside of the ship, and you're blind. You have no idea where you are, and then you start noticing what appears to be.
I don't like where this is going.
What appears to be the heat shield on the outside of the ship starting to get a little toasty.
Oh
You start
god.
to see the shields start to glow as though you're entering a planetary atmosphere. However, that hasn't happened yet, because it takes you about 60 hours to get there. So we're just going to roll back in time a little bit.
What the
What?
I can see the future.
It's on fire.
Give you a taste of what's coming. And you have a few days, a couple of days in hyperspace to get some rest. All of you recover all of your strain. And you have 2 nights of rest, so you can recover up to 2 wounds.
Does the ship get to recover strain as well?
Yes, the ship recovers 2 system strain.
Kalo, we do have obligation. So we have a baseline of 1 or just 1 lower strain threshold.
Rip.
Yeah.
Waldron, I feel like this trip is going to go really well for us. Things are really starting to turn around.
Do we recover the wounds from like it is? We said
Just
2.
gets ignored.
Yeah, you recover 2 wounds for the 2 days you're traveling in hyperspace.
It's game time, son.
Waldron? Oh my god,
And
they've
is there
killed
anything
Waldron!
else you guys? Is there anything else you'd like to do in this couple of days in hyperspace? Or...
Thar, did your environment suit get ripped?
It did.
Is that something that falls within my ability to repair stuff?
I would say it's a daunting mechanics check.
I can try to fix that for you. You just heard my FFG source books unzipping. So,
All right. I'm gonna unzip this outfit while we're at it. Go ahead and give it a try, little man.
I have mine. I assume this is mostly fabric, so
Yes.
Just to throw it out there. Redundant systems. Once per session, make a redundant systems action, make an easy mechanics checks to harvest components from a functioning device to repair a broken. You know what? I'm going to do this the regular way. Daunting is fun. Daunting mechanics check.
Because ultimately he just ripped it. You don't need to replace parts. The parts aren't broken per se.
Okay.
You're essentially just sewing it back together. But it needs to be well enough done. So, you know.
Are you looking to upgrade this?
I'm not touching anything. I'm good.
Are you sure? This could be a good use of. Okay. No, he's not going to go for it.
There
All
you
right,
go.
I think I got it, Thar. It should work now. Just don't breathe in too much.
What would you like the 2 advantage to do?
I don't know if it's really.
Go on.
I just repaired it so well that any friction has been reduced with how I sewed it together. So if we have to do a stealth roll, he gets a boost for the first.
That sounds perfect. Yep. Okay, so yeah, let's just remember that he's you got a stealthy environmental suit. That seems like a good use of advantage.
It wasn't my original thought.
That's fine. Time marches on, and we return to the Chol Nebula.
Whoa.
Sorry, did you want to do something in hyperspace?
Nothing really important, but I forgot to pick up a backpack. So I wanted to just check around the cargo hold and see if there's anything that would function.
I don't think you have any backpacks lying around,
Fair
I'm
enough.
afraid.
All right, Chol Nebula.
Chol
Burning
Nebula.
to death.
So as a reminder, you've dropped out of hyperspace, you're in the nebula, your sensors are fried, there's rocks clanging off the shields, and the shields are starting to look like they're entering an atmosphere. So what do you guys want to do to deal with this situation?
Hold on.
This is fine.
Spin my chair around, get back on the controls after waking up from a brief nap. Where did you send us, Buzz?
I didn't send us anywhere. Ask Arnott. Arnott says he sent us into the middle of a nebula.
Looks like he can't speak binary. What the hell?
Where are we? Do we know where we are, Aldern?
I can't tell anything. There's no sensors. Get on fixing that. I'll try and fly us out of here.
All right. I'm gonna go try to fix the sensors.
Okay, if you want to repair the sensors, would you make a hard mechanics check? And because you guys have an astromech droid, you can add 2 boost.
Come on, Arnott.
There we go. Excellent stuff.
That's all our roll for the rest of the night.
Okay. If you end, so that I will each. Let's see. Each two advantage there adds 1 extra boost die to checks in combat and sensor use in the nebula. You've basically completely recalibrated the sensors. and they're using the nebula to the best effect. You realize, after turning the sensors back on, that you are in fact in the Chol Nebula. Cholgana is right next to you. You're entering its atmosphere as we speak. It takes you around 3 minutes to fix the sensors, and in that time, the ship takes a system strain.
Guys, we got us really close. You welcome?
To avoid damaging the ship more, Walden, you're going to need to make a hard piloting space check.
I
I'm
hop
gonna
into the co-pilot
And I'm going to
seat
upgrade
and
that once.
assist
Is
on
that a roll for a crash landing, or is that a roll?
This is a
for
roll to not burn up in the atmosphere, yes.
Okay.
Roll to not burn up in the atmosphere?
Yeah.
How
You
does
came in a little hot.
Pun intended.
So
Let me make sure I got my
I'm
roll right here.
upgrading that once.
Oh
I spent a...
It's levered.
and then...
maneuvering setback, right?
Yep, because the ship is bad at maneuvering. But then you have a boost because Vernon said he dived into the... In those 3 minutes that Vuz was repairing the sensors.
Come on, give it to us. Come on.
Hey guys, strap in. Here we go.
There
Oh,
we
thank
go.
God.
You managed
No
to pull
way.
the ship back.
I'm almost disappointed.
Pull the ship back from the atmosphere. And you managed to... the advantage are, you notice on the sensors, those the rocks you're flying through was just a very small cometary cloud. It wasn't a full asteroid field. So you don't need to worry about any further rock collisions. So there you go. You're now in orbit around Chalgana. Your sensors are calibrated. You can see the planet with them, though looking out the window isn't very helpful. And otherwise, you came out of that remarkably unscathed. I'm very disappointed.
So, with this brief reprieve, can we get I look outside the cockpit window? What's the landscape look like?
You can see shrouded in clouds and some of the nebula. You can see just generally rolling hills, jungle, some temperate forest towards the poles, and a large sea on one hemisphere. You also notice there's a very, very large river snaking its way across one of the continents.
And in that river is a giant munificent.
You can't see it from space. It's not that big.
Oh, man.
If you want to search for it, you're going to need to perform a search pattern and use the ship scanners.
Should we start scanning for the Narshalor now?
Yeah, let's
Why
fly
don't we
around.
scan to see if there's any yeehaw boys first before we go advertising what we're looking for?
Yeah, so I'm gonna fly around the planet up in the atmosphere. We have a whisper thrust, so I'm gonna try and keep it below that 3 speed, which is basically my full speed anyways. And we'll just kind of do a little active sensor pass to see if we can see any activity.
Okay, so to find the correct quarter hemisphere that the ship is located in, you're going to need to make an average computers check.
An average computers check?
Yeah, you think it'll take about 25 minutes. And you have a boost, of course, because you're using the sensors in the nebula.
Okay, I'm really good at this, guys.
There we go. As you might expect, an excellent result. The advantage adds a boost to the next sensor check you might need. And the success have reduced the time it would have taken you from 25 minutes to 10 minutes. So you've been here a total of 13 minutes, and in that time, you've managed to sort the ship out. Oh, I'll call it maybe 20 minutes total. You managed to sort the ship out and find the correct hemisphere, quarter hemisphere, that the Narshalor is located in. In fact, as you scan, basically what you're picking up in this quarter hemisphere is there's a larger concentration of metals than you would expect from this area of the planet, given other scanning that you've done from orbit. The problem is the quarter hemisphere of a planet is quite large, so you need to scan again and this is going to take quite a lot longer. You think it'll probably take about 5 hours to scan the entire quarter hemisphere, but again, it's only going to be average difficulty.
Performing scan.
And yeah, you get the boost from the... you had to go into slightly lower orbit for this, and you get the boost from your previous advantage, and there's 4 success, 5 advantage. Excellent. So, you've managed to... Let me see, how many successes is that? Jesus.
4 success,
Okay.
5 advantage.
So you localize the crash site to a long arcing river valley. It's quite deep with sharp cliffs on either side. You have maybe a 10-kilometer range of area to fly down and check. Basically, you're seeing this debris field that's spread down this river valley for about 100 kilometers or so. You pick up with 2 of your advantage. With 1 of your advantage, I mean. You pick up an escape pod. Well, at least you think it's an escape pod. Some distance from the main debris area. And you also think you've discovered what appears to be the main crash site itself.
For the escape pod, is it like along the direction it was crashing, like behind it, or is it out further?
It seems to be out kind of away from the crash site itself. Seems like it separated early during its descent.
Okay. And is there any way any of that advantage can also be used for some sort of life form scan? Or would that be separate?
That's something I can tell you for free.
Okay.
This whole place is teeming with life. In terms of life form scanning the wreckage itself, you'll have to get much, much closer for your sensors to be able to do that. The whole planet is alive, as far as you can tell. The dense jungles definitely hide a lot of creatures.
I mean, I'm sure they're trying their best. You don't need to call them dense.
Okay.
Walden, we found it. Look at that crash.
We found 2 things. We found an escape pod that's near to the ship, but and we may have found the main crash site itself. Where do we want to go first?
We could get closer to the escape pod, and I could try to scan it. See if there's any life within the escape pod before we get killed by some yeehaws.
Yeah, sure. How long did that initial scan, the 5-hour scan, take, or the estimated 5-hour scan take with 4 successes?
That ended up being 3 hours total.
3 hours, gotcha. Okay.
So you're currently at approximately 63.5 hours since you left the wheel.
So do we want to go for the escape pod first and see if there's anything there? Is it important?
I think it's probably worth... There may be some extra information there if there's maybe like a corpse in there or something like that. We could always rummage one of those.
As long as there's not a living corpse.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think we call those zombies.
Yeah, let's go to the escape pod. Is that in a safer area than the steep cliffs in the river valley of where we get
difficult to tell. That you'd need to fly a lot closer to find out if it's safer or not.
Gotcha.
I mean, the river valley is large. It's big enough to hide a munificent. So those cliffs, you think you'd be able to fly your ship down that river if you needed to.
Okay.
But the escape pod is away in the jungle, and you definitely don't think you'd be able to get too close to it without finding an appropriate landing zone nearby and going to it on foot or scanning it from a lot closer.
Okay. I'm going to try and fly closer to it, see if we can get a scan on it first.
Okay, you bring the Avidon Hale down closer to the jungles. You see some birds flying around in the treetops, and see, you're below the cloud level now. Could you make let's go with a hard piloting check to make sure you don't
clip the canopy.
Clip the canopy and do silly things to the ship.
Please don't do silly things to the ship while I'm trying to scan.
Oh my goodness.
So the ship takes a couple of system strain. Let's just say takes one system strain. As the shields make a kind of fizzing noise and like take the tops off a few trees. What would you like your 3 advantages to do?
Let's say the tops of the trees that I knocked off kind of send out a little clearing where I could fly down a bit closer, maybe so that we could have some people jump out.
Sure. Could you guys make an average survival check to... Well, actually, let me think. So you can make a computer's check to scan the terrain more closely and discover and find out exactly where the pod is. You don't know exactly where it is right now, but you know kind of a rough 1 kilometer area that it's in. So you can make an average computer's check with 2 setback for terrain modification, basically the amount of trees and stuff in the way. But if you want to make an average survival check before that, you can reduce the setback on the computer's check to interpret the data with an understanding of the terrain.
Do we want to just do
that
the
make
computer's
sense?
check? I mean, do you want me to just scan, or do you want to see if there's anything else?
None of us are built for this environment. I think we should scan first.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll just scan then.
Okay, so that's going to be an average computer's check with 2 setback. Excellent. Okay. So the threat is going to add a setback to your next scan. It seems like there's some weird magnetic materials in some of the cliffs around here that are affecting the scanners more than you expected. But you discover the escape pod. It's buried. It's half buried near the bottom of a steep, overgrown crevasse. It's the size of a very small shuttle or a large escape pod. Lowering someone in there is going to be impossible, or landing in there is going to be impossible because there's so many trees in the way. There's a nearest the nearest landing zone is the one that that Walden created by clipping the trees, and that's a few hundred meters away from the crash site.
Walden, what if we just shot it all around here? We could clear out some trees.
I don't know if there's anybody else here. I don't know. I don't necessarily just want to go around killing a bunch of wildlife.
I mean, you just did, and we're probably going to have to walking here.
That was unintentional, though.
Oh,
I mean, he's got you there.
all right.
How about this? I'll drop you guys off, and I'll stay above you, so that way we can at least get some, and just stay right above you, hovering, and you'll get some air cover if you need it.
Well, if it's this risky, what do we need to go for the escape pod, or do we just go for the ship?
You're probably right. Do you want to just hoof it? It's only a few hundred meters or so.
Want to huff it?
Okay, so let me remind you. So you've scanned the escape pod area. You know where it is down a crevasse. The landing zone near the escape pod is about a few hundred meters from the escape pod.
Yeah, we're not near the ship.
The main ship itself is another few kilometers away.
Yes.
Maybe nearly 10 kilometers away in the river valley.
Yeah, I'm talking about landing near the escape pod and walking towards the escape pod.
Okay.
You want to do that with all 4 of us?
Better safe than sorry.
What about that other droid, IT-3PO? He's with us, or did he just...
Yeah, he's been here the whole time, just none of you chose to question him.
Hey, IT?
Yes?
Do you know anything about the crew of the Narshalor?
Yes, I am familiar with Captain Harsel.
Do you think it's worth the
Amazing.
hassle of trying to get to him?
take 2 strain. Yes, if Captain Hassel is located near that escape pod, I believe it would be an excellent chance to meet him. I would be anxious to speak with him.
Okay, so do you want to go through the forest with us?
I would prefer to stay in the ship. You can bring Captain Hassel to the ship to meet me.
Do you know what he looks like?
Yes, I can provide you with a hologram representation. And he hands you a little... He basically just projects it. Probably using R0. Probably basically communicates with R0 and, like, transfers the information.
Who is she? She's beautiful.
No, Captain Hassel is a bald human with a couple of scars across his face.
Who is he? He's
Oh.
beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I think that should be enough for us to kind of figure out or identify him if he's there.
Is he
Are
going to be
you-
friendly?
Yes, if you mention that you have myself, then Captain Hassel should be excited to see me again.
Are you from the Narshalor? Why
I
are
think
you
Fiskio
here
doesn't
with us?
respond.
Whoa. Take him apart.
No,
that doesn't seem
I
like a good
strongly
idea.
think that would be a bad idea. I can provide you excellent help, and I am your only contact with Captain Hassel. I remind you that I was the one to help broker the deal between Captain Hassel and Royan.
Just drop him out of the airlock.
Are we
You,
landing?
you land. Are you just hovering above the landing zone? Drop out the airlock, he just falls like 20 meters.
Wait, have we landed, or is there some sort of check?
I don't know. You did, like Walden didn't say he was landing, so I
Nah,
assume
I'm
you're just
still
hovering.
Yeah, I'm still hovering right now. We're still above the canopy.
Wait,
But
just to be clear, Waldron's hovering, or the ship is hovering?
The ship is
Can we go
hovering.
with both?
I am
Oh.
your leader. Yeah, so IT, is there do you know how to use a weapon?
No, I am not trained in combat.
Do you know how to use a sensor like on the ship?
Yes, I believe I could use the sensors on this ship.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I think we'll leave you in the ship so you'll stay safe. I'm gonna set you over here with the sensors, and I'll show him how to basically use them, and we'll basically leave him here and have him call us back if there's anything that is strange in the sensors. If say there's other ships coming in.
Of course, I will keep the sensors scanning for other ships.
Lifty, make sure to keep him company so he doesn't get lonely. And then if he needs to contact us, he can use your comlink. Oh my, Master Fuzz, that does sound delightful.
I'm gonna tell. So I'll go ahead and land the ship now, and we'll keep it nice and steady. It's not gonna be a fast landing.
As you go into the corpses of the tree.
I know. It's like the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob.
So, the Avidon Hale squishes down into the muddy forest floor. You guys gonna head outside?
Yeah. I'm gonna open up the landing the landing bay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to Arnott and just say keep an eye on IT.
Okay. As you exit the landing ramp, how many of you have been on wilderness planets before? And be honest.
Is a cave wilderness?
No.
Then no.
Can I? So how about this? Can I roll for it since I've done a lot of like traveling with my character
Sure.
in the Outer Rim specifically? So
Let's go with the roll the D100, and if it's less than 70, then you'll be good. A reminder to everyone: if you're wearing your environmental suits, the soak you have is simply the environmental suit soak, which is, I believe, just 1 or 2 added to your brawn, not your current character soak, unless you've improved that.
The soak for the envirosuits is 1.
Okay,
And there's
so
no
for
defense on it.
example, yeah. So please remember that because that's what you're wearing right now.
1 plus brawn or just 1?
It'll be 1 plus your brawn.
Okay.
So for example, you have 3 soak right now, Buzz, because you're actually wearing clothes for once. Okay, so you rolled a 7, so you don't have to make a fear check. However, everyone else does have to make a fear check because no one else has mentioned their experience in wilderness environments. So
I'm
everyone
a
else can
doctor. Get away from me.
Is that so? Oh yeah, go ahead.
make an average fear check. That's against your discipline.
While those are rolling, the leadership check happens after the fear check, right?
I believe so, yes, to compensate for effects of fear. So you'll see if anyone fails, basically, then you can help compensate. So disciplined.
Yeah, I just upgraded it too. Oh,
Okay. So you fail. So you add a setback to each action you take during the encounter for the next while, until I say otherwise. You take 1 strain from the threat. But the triumph... You don't need to make any other fear checks. So you're afraid, but damn it, you're as afraid as you're going to get.
Hey.
Oh no.
Hey.
good.
So you also have 1 setback to all of your future rolls until I say otherwise.
Oh my god.
And so basically everybody except Walden has +1 setback. But on the bright side, for Father, you gain 1 boost on your first check.
For Thar or for me?
For Thar, because unless you just did,
Yeah,
you
I
just
just
roll
rolled.
that?
I was the one who rolled.
No, I rolled after you.
Well,
Okay, so Thar rolled 1 failure, and Vuz rolled 1 advantage. Is that what I'm getting here?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vuz, you get 1 boost to use with your next check, but you are also afraid and have a setback to all of your checks, unless Walden manages to successfully solve the problem.
Well, Walden, I'm scared. Scared.
Just stick close to me and you'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Did you hear that, Thar? We'll be fine.
no, we won't.
Oh, fuck. We're gonna be fine.
I'm gonna go over to Buzz. I got hunting goggles from the trip at the wheel.
Yes.
I'm gonna hand them over to Buzz, and I'm gonna be like, now with these goggles, you can see anything out here. You're the
Anything?
predator now.
Oh!
Yeah, you're the predator.
Oh, God.
Is
Not
this
sure it
is this
works
an
like
actual piece of equipment that I should
It is an
add?
actual piece of
hunting
equipment
goggles,
that will increase your perception.
Does it give a boost or just upgrade?
It gives a boost, and it also reduces setback for people that are concealed when you're using ranged light checks. And
Oh,
ranged
handy.
heavy checks.
Very nice.
I put them on and look
Are you
ridiculous.
going to make a leadership check then?
I'm going to make a
Walden, or-
leadership check. Yeah.
Okay. So is there a particular difficulty for that, or do I need to set the difficulty?
I believe you do. I didn't read the full rules on this specific one, so I'd have to look around for it.
So I would just say it's an average leadership check because it was an average difficulty fear check.
Got it. Oh my gosh.
I thought we were rolling too well.
Are
Here
we
it is.
more afraid than before?
You're definitely not helped. All of you now. I'm just going to plop. Basically, have a everyone. Oh yeah, everyone has a setback except Thar needs one as well. Okay, so everyone has a nice, fun setback from fear. Oh, what a time! What a time we are in. You got 1 advantage though. What would you like to do with your 1 advantage?
I steeled myself, but no, I can't do that.
Pull yourself? Wait a minute.
I steeled myself more, so I was going to reduce strain, but I can't reduce strain on myself.
You're at 0 effectively. Yeah.
I'm at 0, yeah. So why don't we... So I can clearly see the direction where to go. I can
sure.
see
You can
through
see you can see like a kind of rough path through the trees to where the crevasse begins.
Yeah.
Do any of
I'm
you
gonna-
guys want to take a look around the landing zone, or?
Yeah.
Nope.
Before we start making our way out, I say make sure everybody arm yourselves. Get your weapons at the ready.
All I need is
Okay.
these guns, and I'm going to point to my arms.
I pull out
So
my
if
disruptor
you-
pistol.
Anybody who
Um,
does want to take a look around the landing zone, could you make an average perception check, please?
Okay, I'll do that. What sort of sight lines are we looking at, range band wise?
Basically, the landing zone is it's barely bigger than the ship, so it's like short to medium range.
So in the forest, it'll likely be short.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm doing a perception check. What is the difficulty on that?
Average.
Okay. Oh, and setback.
Okay. There's a number of wild animals and possibly a few aggressive creatures in the area. You can see them skittering about in the trees. There's some like kind of noises, angry creatures. What would you like your 3 advantage to do?
Nothing in the local area is exceptionally dangerous.
That seems reasonable. Yeah. So definitely right around the landing zone is quite safe. So you can walk a range band away from the landing zone and you'll be fine.
And I'm also pulling my disruptor out.
Did we
Okay.
have a general sense of like how many hundred? Like, is it like 300 meters or like 900 meters?
It's more on the 300-meter side.
Okay.
Climbing into and along the crevasse is going to require either a hard athletics check or a hard coordination check. And of course, everyone except Walden is slightly afraid, so everybody gets a setback on this.
So are we just at the crevice now?
Yeah, I mean, basically, as you look through the forest, there isn't anything immediately standing out to you as dangerous right now. So you can head down to the crevasse and make those athletics/coordination checks.
Are we trying to Are we trying to jump over it or drop down?
This is climbing into and along the crevasse. So you're climbing down it and kind of going zigzagging back down the sheer crevasse.
How far of a drop is it?
It'll be short range if you fall.
Is this something where we could use the grapnel as a rope to rappel to reduce?
Yeah, I would allow if you somebody would have to go down first, obviously. And they would have
What
to
about the
have
pistol?
the hard.
Or is that what you're referring to?
So the first person to go down would have the hard athletics check, and then the next person to go down after that would just be average.
Okay.
I
Then
can
you'd have
try
a
to go
rope
down
tied onto it.
first.
Are you sure that's wise?
If you give me the pistol, and then I can just.
You're still quaking in your tube socks over there.
But I know
Do
how
you
to
want me to
climb
do
better
it
than
and
you
do
do.
I believe I would be a better choice for this.
Okay, let's all of us just jump down together.
You first. If we're
You
doing
first, buddy.
Okay, I jump.
What?
Jump?
Well, I
Okay.
start going down. I don't like.
Okay, could you make the hard coordination or athletics check then, please? With a setback. But also a boost. Because this is your first check. And then that boost is now gone. There we go. So you take a strain as you get scratched up and entangled in some of the vegetation, but you manage to make it down. You see a rusted metal hulk half buried in the dirt. It's relatively large, about 5 meters above the surface of a small brackish pond in the bottom of the crevasse. It's draped with reddish, thorny vines, but you can just make out the faded words 34 Besh peeling from the metal to the left of a gaping opening. There are dozens of thumb-sized, green-bodied flying insects buzzing around the opening. It takes you a moment to realize the round hole is actually the wide-open hatch of a tiny ship or a large escape pod. You notice the door itself stands half submerged in the pond, where it fell directly below the opening. So that's what you see, Fuzz. And you're down at the bottom. You did not take the grapnel gun from... so everyone else has to follow you now.
I try to grab one of the little beetle things, bugs.
Okay, could you make an average resilience check?
An average resilience check.
Oh no! Oh
That's
no!
good places, buddy.
That sounds really bad.
Rip. We knew him well, guys.
Oh, it gets worse. Don't worry.
So I yell out, "Don't grab those."
Oh, just-
But that's okay. I'll allow you to not have to add a setback to this, but you still fail. So you're now disoriented until you're going to be disoriented for the next quarter of an hour or so.
so
That's
like
a status effect.
I
That's a
grabbed it
disoriented
and
status
got
effect.
disoriented.
It stung you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did
It stung you and you didn't resist it.
Am I holding it though?
I mean, you can still be holding it if you like.
I eat
Eat
it.
Yeah.
You want to eat it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say that doesn't. You got 3 advantage. I'm going to allow the 3 advantage to mean that you don't get further effects from the stinger.
So
because I'm
what?
kind.
What was the effect there?
Disoriented. Disoriented means that. Let's have a look. Oriented. Disoriented is you add setback to all checks you make.
2 setbacks.
You can have 2 setback.
So for the next 15 minutes or so, you're just like staggering around, not really clear what's going on.
Right. So I calm Walter.
But congratulations, you ate a bug.
I found something.
So who's coming down next?
Marveling at this incredible Hulk I found. It might be an escape pod.
Did you touch a plant or a bug?
I yeeted it.
You yeeted the bug? I'm going to say
I
over the
didn't.
phone?
I didn't eat it. I yeeted it.
All right, we might need to blow him up, guys. Give me the bola.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around to everybody else. I don't need to turn around to Vernon though, but it's like, don't eat anything here, please. We have food on the
To
ship.
Vernon? I don't think he's gonna care.
No, I was
You
saying
turn around
just
and
to
tell
Thar.
Thar not to eat anything. Okay.
I'm
I'm
sure
a
you know this.
vegetarian.
I believe he's including plants.
I am
Mr.
including
Thar,
plants.
I don't feel so good.
Can I drop a Glock grenade on top of him?
No, I am gonna go down there.
Okay. Could you make the
I'm gonna
hard
ask for the
athletics?
grapnel gun before. Yeah, I'm gonna ask for the grapnel gun from
Okay.
Vernon before.
I assume
I don't
Vernon
have the
passes.
grapple gun.
You have a grapple. Oh yeah, you don't have the grapple attacher,
No, I don't.
but Thar does, right?
I don't think anybody has a grapnel.
Did we had one that
We
broke,
had one.
right?
I have
The
a
Ascension
Rider
fixed
pistol?
it.
extension pistol. And yeah, what?
Oh, I fixed the Ascension pistol after it broke when I fucking face planted off the building that time.
Yeah, but I don't know where you guys put it. No one said you brought it with you, so
Okay, sure.
What?
you can make
It,
you can make a
How about
vigilance check. You can make a vigilance check to say that you brought it
Okay.
with you, or you can flip a destiny point. One of those 2 things.
Yeah. Make a vigilance check, Kayla.
So make an average vigilance check to say whether. Let's actually make an easy vigilance check. That's the kind of thing you'd think to bring with you. Your vigilance is your willpower, so it's 3 ability.
well. Come on, big money.
You do indeed have the Ascension pistol.
Oh, hey guys, I have the Ascension pistol. I'm gonna slap it in his palm.
hey, Waldern,
Yes.
it was delicious.
Can we leave him here?
Are you just saying that on the comm? You're just like
Yeah.
calling them now. Just be like, this is delicious. Okay. Okay, so Walden, you want to go
That
down
is
next?
tempting, Thar.
So that's going to be a hard athletics or coordination check.
I'm not going down first or second.
So this is coordination. Okay. And you succeed with 1 advantage. You repel. Well, I wouldn't say you repel down. You climb your way down to where your lovely, friendly neighborhood bug-eating Salonian is.
Oh, hey.
I'm gonna shoot the Ascension pistol back up, I guess.
Yep.
So that the rope's there. Is
It
that
wraps around a tree.
Okay.
I'm just going to allow that to happen. It wraps around a tree and secures itself.
Okay. I make sure it's nice and taut, so that somebody won't fall off it, and wave signal Thar and Vernon down.
By
You
all
definitely have
means,
to calm them.
Vernon.
They can't see you.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, so now it's just an average athletics or coordination check. So you have a rope to hang on to.
Wait, why is this droid so athletic? What?
It's what this droid does.
He's agile. He's got good servos. They're greasy.
Oh, he's greased. Get in there, buddy.
He's got greasy servos. So take a strain as you again get slapped around a bit by some vegetation, but you make it down there without otherwise any issue. And finally, Thar, are you going to wait at the top or?
You don't have to come down here if you don't want to.
I'm going to calm down and say maybe we should actually have someone watching the pistol because I don't think we're going to want to leave it up here.
For sure.
Okay, so Thar, you're up the top. Okay.
While I do that, can I try and look around to see if there's anything, obviously trying to predator out?
Sure. Could you make a?
This is going to be great if I don't see it.
Could you make a perception check against 2 challenge and 2 difficulty dice, please?
Oh no.
So that's a yes. There is something out there.
It's more that if there was, it's very hard to spot. So this is your perception.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Despair.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That was surprisingly close to not being terrible, actually.
Take a strain. As far as you're aware, aside from a slight feeling of unease, there's nothing tracking you. There's nothing out here. It's not a problem. You're pretty chill up there. Meanwhile,
a bug.
Down at the escape pod, how's it going down there, folks?
Okay. Is there a path to get down into the escape pod?
I would like to look into the water and through the hatch with my infrared binoculars first.
Okay, sure. Could you make a hard perception check?
Hard.
With, of course, a setback, because you're still a bit scared.
I don't think I have. No. Okay, so, yep. Oh, I should have removed that setback. Because of
you remove setbacks from perception checks? Yeah, you should have done that. Okay.
Well.
So, yeah, you look into the pod. It's quite clear that the interior is home to a nest of hundreds of these little green bugs. You can see some kind of skeletal limbs, it's kind of scattered. Like you kind of look around the general area and you see some limbs and a damaged blaster in the water. There's an old, picked clean skeleton of some kind of clawed, razor-toothed quadruped, and it's kind of half submerged in the pond. And the skull shows clear blaster damage. And there's clearly a human in the pod who never made it out, and he's crushed in the blast seat furthest from the hatch. The systems in the pod are completely dead, and they look heavily corroded. But the flight log and the black box of the pod looks like you could still access it if you could find a way to get past the bugs.
So let's see. Do anybody down here have a glop grenade on them?
I have a glop grenade.
Oh.
Does anyone have a flamethrower?
We do not have a flamethrower. But something glops can do is suffocate things if they're inside of it.
Alternatively, I am a robot.
What a fair point that is.
Wow. Wow.
Vernon,
I think
you
yes.
think you can get me the box?
I can attempt to get you the box. I would suggest putting some distance between yourselves and the pod.
Yeah, I don't think I want to eat another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just grab Buzz's shoulders and back him up to the sheer face of the wall.
All right. I wade into the nasty, mucky water and plane the whole way.
Yep. So you make it. The flies start swarming you, and they're going to be annoying if you have to do anything, but they're not stinging you or attacking you. They're just kind of they're just pinging off your body, basically.
All right.
So if you want to extract the flight logs, that's going to be a hard mechanics check.
Oh.
It's a delicate system. It's old. It's corroded.
Right. Yeah, this is gonna go great.
And there's also
Buzz?
a setback. There's a setback because you're afraid, and there's a setback because of the because of the bugs.
I'm gonna get on the comm.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's only hard.
Oh, right,
What are you
yeah.
gonna say, Vernon?
Yeah, Vuz, could you possibly walk me through this
While he's disoriented.
while he's disoriented?
Is there any way? Do you want me to try the glop grenade first?
No glop grenade.
You know what? This is what I bring to the table. Okay. So you know what? I'm going to see how difficult this is, back out, and suggest the glop grenade.
Okay.
Or how about this? Instead of that, can you just throw the hive out?
Is that a thing I could do?
You can try. That would be, I would say, that would be
Probably
like a hard survival
athletics.
check.
Oh, survival. I'll give survival a try. So 2 setbacks still.
Yeah, because they're swarming around you. But yeah, definitely a hard survival check.
All right.
You have 5 cunning, remember?
What? I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You succeeded
Oh,
anyway,
I
so
succeeded anyway.
you take 2 strain because you're getting really upset about all this muck you're having to get all over your servos. But you manage to kind of grab the nest and just like throw it out. And it just like crashes, it splashes into the pond. All the flies buzz up and buzz away into the trees, leaving only a few lingering ones remaining. So the pod is now open for Vuz to go in.
All right, Vuz. I think we're clear.
Okay, no more delicious bugs?
I'm
Alright.
not going to say no more.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go in and then try to remove the black box.
Okay, so that's just going to be a hard mechanics check with 1 setback because you're still disoriented. But this will be your last disoriented check.
There are no setbacks.
Excellent. Even when you're disoriented, you've got your head in the game when it comes to mechanics.
Actually, since there are, I'm supposed to have 2, and I remove 1. So should I?
Yeah, you should still have 1.
I said okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying net there or what. But...
No. You're still afraid. Okay, 1 success, 2 advantage.
Here's the box.
So you managed to pull it out. It's very fragile. And if you want to copy it to another system, you'll need to take it back with you.
I'm gonna just bring it
one
with us.
It's just 1 encumbrance. So
I have a backpack on me, so I can put it in there.
Well, then hold on to this in your backpack, please.
What would you like a 2 advantage?
Are both of my setbacks gone?
You can get rid of the fear setback.
Yeah, I'm back doing mechanical stuff. I'm happy to be.
Yep. That seems perfect.
Yeet.
Meanwhile, at the top of the rope,
Oh,
Thar, could you make a vigilance check, please?
Oh no.
With a setback, because you're afraid.
I don't know what my vigilance is. Hold.
It's 3. It's
Gonna
your
wrestle
willpower.
the giant cat.
Don't bully me.
Unless you have a skill in it.
And what's the difficulty, sir?
1 setback. There's no difficulty because this is initiative.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
One advantage, and the lovely Nexu is going to roll.
You what?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, look, it
What?
rolled 1 success, 2 advantage. How perfect.
How perfect.
The Nexu aims a pounce at you.
Aims a pounce.
It aims a pounce and uses its fierce pounce ability to gain knockdown on its attack and attacks you with its claws. So it's going to have that. What is your
Sorry.
What is your defense? Do you have any defense right now? You can't. Okay, no, because you're just wearing. You just have the 1 soak environmental armor on. Let me just double check. So he's aimed at you, so he gets a boost, and he jumps out of the tree and claws at you.
Is it nice knowing you?
Okay, so you take 9 damage minus your soak. So you take 4 wounds. That's not too bad.
His soak
Is 5. He has 4 brawn.
But
plus
he's
1,
wearing.
so-
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's 1 soak. That's okay. He's doing okay so far. It's not too bad. And obviously, he's going to take a critical injury plus 20.
Obviously.
So I'm
Why
sad the
wouldn't
claws
he?
don't have the claws don't have vicious. That's very sad. So our good old pal takes a 49, 69, a critical injury.
Not
Let's
nice.
see what a 69 is.
Does he lose his other
Hey.
arm?
No. Scattered senses. You remove all boost from skill checks until the end of the encounter. So you can't use boosts until the end of the encounter. Basically, you can't aim. You can't do anything like that until the end of the encounter. So
Okay.
there you are. You have a fearsome Nexu in front of you. It does have 2 threat. So what would you like the threat to do to the Nexu?
Heart attack. Heart attack.
I'm not. So
So you can look at the things that advantage gives you, and
Well,
basically
I'm
do
thinking.
stuff that's reverse.
I'm thinking. Don't bully me here.
Negate
late.
knockdown.
Knockdown didn't trigger. I didn't trigger knockdown.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to choose to do that with 2 advantage. Okay, let me see if I can grab some appropriate random vegetation. If I'm super lucky, there's some vegetation in here I can use. Vegetation without walls would be nice. No, that would be too much to ask for, wouldn't it?
Am I able to add a difficulty to his next check? Or
You can add a setback.
Yeah, sorry. That's the word I was looking for. Setback.
Yeah, that works. Okay. Let me grab a quick. This one I'll have to do. Oh, Jesus!
He did it.
Oh no. Ah.
There we go. That's better.
There you go.
Okay, so there's no actual walls here. You can ignore the walls. But Thar, you're being attacked by. the
I'm just
giant
like
evil
hallucinating,
Nexu.
and I can just see walls.
And Walden, Vernon, and Vuz are down below in the crevasse still. Okay, so what do you want to do, Thar? Presumably you want to tell your allies that this is happening.
Why would I do that? I'm gonna comment. Say, hey guys, there's something with big teeth.
Sounds like Thar's having fun. Where are we going?
We're going back up.
I'm gonna
So-
then maneuver to stim myself, I guess. And
Okay. So you take a maneuver and stim yourself, recovering 5 wounds.
and then I'm gonna try and jam pack this guy.
Okay. Could you take an average brawl check with a setback?
That's 2, correct?
Yes. Setback because you're still afraid. Okay, you
Wow,
miss.
all right.
You miss the Nexu. You swing wildly, and it dodges out of the way with its extremely effective, extremely high agility movement. And what would you like to do with your 2 advantage?
Can you just stack the setback, or does it only add 1?
Now you can stack it. You can add another one if you like.
Sure. I mean, let's do that.
Okay. How would you say these setback are working? Like, what's narratively happening?
I would say narratively, like I'm not like hitting it in a way that's actually like lethal. It's just really irritating.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of like someone punches your elbow really hard and it makes your nerves fire like they should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your
It's
elbow, you
annoyed
might
that
say.
it's definitely annoyed that you seem to be feeling better. So it's got 2 setback. It's going to aim again, and it's going to attack you. It's going to try and bite you this time. So
I don't
it's a
like
bite.
bites because they kind of bite.
Yep. So it's going to bite you.
Hey. Why doesn't
Oh,
it?
This
hey!
is- the setback. One of the setbacks worked there quite well, and it has 2 advantage. So it's actually going to take a free maneuver and run away to short range.
Oh, I don't think so, Scooter. Get back here.
Grab that tail.
Okay, And now it's everyone else's. Now it's everyone else's turn. So basically, the order of operations is the NPC goes, then the 4 PCs go.
Yeah.
So for you guys to climb back up the rope,
that's an action.
Yeah, you're going to have to make a hard athletics check, each of you in turn, and it's
With
going to
the rope?
take you. Yeah, sorry, not hard, average, and it's going to take you a round to climb back up.
Or coordination, right?
Or coordination, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, coordination's fine, yeah. So if each of you could do that, that'd be great. Don't forget, most of you are still afraid. So.
Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
So you make it halfway. Is what I'll.
What are you doing?
You make it halfway up the crevasse, but you're kind of just like hanging onto the rope on the ledge, on like a little ledge, trying not to fall off.
These rolls are wrong.
I know they're wrong, but they're hilariously right.
So we're just kind of waiting for him to get up.
Just walk over top of me.
No. You can go around him, especially since
Okay.
you're using coordination. I'm fine with you guys going around him, but yeah, it will add a set. It's not going to add a setback because he had advantage, so I'm happy to have it just be like.
He's managed to scooch out of the way a little bit.
Yeah, so he's just kind of hanging on a ledge, basically. So if you want to make an average coordination check,
Vern, you want to go first or me?
I'll go ahead, sure.
and you have, setback from fear.
All right.
You're a scaredy droid. 2
was-
success, 2 advantage. Let me just make sure
Kinda
that's correct.
servos
Just read-
on past him.
Okay, yeah. 2 success, 2 advantage. So yeah, you just scoot up past him.
All right.
And
With
you
that
make
two
it up to the
advantage,
top where
could
Thar
I-
is.
On
I
the
remove
pleb
the
on the way
fear?
up.
You can remove the fear, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're feeling a sense of purpose as you climb up this rope.
Yeah, somewhere in Vernon's droid brain, he enjoys climbing.
Oh no!
So he might have just found a new hobby, but he's happy about it.
I
He
want you
gets
to
into
know
rock climbing.
Yeah.
there's Cantina Star Wars music playing in the background right now as I'm failing all these rolls.
Perfect.
All right,
Okay,
so that was
Vaz.
just an action. So
Well, it was an action so
round?
that you could take maneuvers, basically.
Okay. All right.
So that you've got to the top and that's your round. It takes the entire round to do it.
Right.
And presumably, yeah, Vuz, you're not afraid anymore? Nope. Okay, cool. Yeah, so everyone's broken past their fear for now, at least, except for Thar.
Who has a reason to be afraid?
Hey,
Okay, and Vuz also managed to skitter his way up. And you have 1 advantage. What would you like to do
with the
that?
advantage, I just want to call down to Waldron. You can step here and it's easier, and make it a bit easier for him to get up his next round.
I don't need your help.
Okay, Walden has a boost. Okay, we're back at the top of the round. The Nexu notices a much tastier looking snack that doesn't fight back. It probably doesn't fight back as much. A little Solonian takes its maneuver to run up,
Walder or Vernon.
and no, it doesn't care about Vernon, and bites at you. You don't have any melee defense, do you?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay, so I think that's correct because it's got all 1. and
Why do you
3.
gotta
Okay.
laugh like that?
Because it amuses me. Aww. Aww.
Rip.
Aww. Well, it misses again and scampers up. It climbs up into a tree and gains a boost on its next action. It basically it climbs up a tree and gets ready to jump on you after you dodge its bite.
Whoa, Thara, what are you doing up here?
Okay, who'd like to go next?
You can have him. Just take him away.
I don't know
Alright,
if he'll
let's
get
go
along
through-
very well with whatever I named the other thing.
Can I just get up this gosh dang wall?
Oh yeah, let's have.
So yeah, you can just do another average coordination check.
He fails. He fails.
He even has a
With
boost.
the boost, right? Oh yeah. Ooh, boost. Look at me go.
Hey, it gave you 2 advantage.
Why
There
couldn't
you
I
go.
roll like that before?
And you finally make it to the top. And you're all
Hey
grouped
guys, what's
there.
going on?
Can I use if that was an action, could I use a maneuver to like
No, that's
to
that's your
grab
whole
the ascension pistol?
um,
That's my whole round. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's your whole round to
Okay.
just to climb up. Yeah.
No worries.
You have 1 advantage. I'd allow the 1 advantage to pick up the ascension pistol.
Okay.
So you pocket the ascension pistol. Who would like to go next?
I'm gonna
I'll
punch
start
this
this
thing in the
off.
mouth. Aw.
Oh, all right. If
It's
you
in the
want to punch it,
tree.
go right ahead.
Can I
yeah.
scream so loud I knock it out of the tree?
I mean, you can try. You
Do
haven't
it.
bellowed for a while.
I have not bellowed for a while. I think it's time.
Okay, so it's at short range. Bellow is is a resilience check, I believe.
It sure is. And it's ranged light, correct? I don't know if it has difficulty. I'm sorry, sir.
So it's if I remember right, it's a resilience check, and then the difficulty is just the range, so it's just easy.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. So
We
let's see
haven't
if
bellowed long enough. Instantly
Step-
makes it harder.
Step back from fear.
Oh. We tried.
Okay,
One
one
success.
success, 1 advantage. Okay, so remind me how much damage that does.
Sure. The bellow is blast 3, concussive 1, slow firing 2, stun damage. And damage is
Okay.
6.
Damage of
So
6.
it's 7.
Okay, so yeah, so you've dealt 7, 7 strain, and you take 3 strain yourself to use it. And let's see, 7. Yeah, the Nexu kind of makes a horrific screeching noise
We start
and tries to
screeching at
like
each
paws
other.
at it paws at its ears, like where well, it doesn't really have ears per se, but the holes where its ears would be, if it had them, it kind of paws at them like angrily. And yeah, who would like to go next? Unless you
Can I
want to take a
move to
maneuver
cover?
as well. Yeah, you can.
I'm not sure where cover would be on this map.
You hide behind a
Alright.
tree. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go. I'm gonna quick draw the disruptor and just shoot this thing in the face.
Okay. Gonna aim and shoot then, I assume?
Yes. If I can remember, I think I just upgraded that. So that's short range, so 1 difficulty.
Yep.
Okay.
It does have the high ground.
Okay.
And are you going to aim for a boost or?
Oh yeah, I was gonna aim. It's fine.
Too nice. I'm too nice.
You are, yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oof.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh
big money!
yeah.
So how much damage is that? It's 12, right?
10 base, so 12.
Yeah.
And is it critical 2? It is critical 2.
Well, you got a
Good.
triumph as well.
You could
so-
use the 2 advantage and the 1 triumph to do a +10 on it if you want to.
Yeah, so it'll be a plus
Good.
10, and then it's
Plus
vicious 4, so it's plus 50.
That sounds pretty
Die.
good. We're doing that.
So that's a
so close.
54.
All right, 104.
94, let's see.
No, 104.
Sorry, 104, yeah. Oof. 104.
Oh, steal my stuff.
Maimed. Yeah, so you shoot off it, you dissolve one of its limbs.
Oh,
Does it fall out of the tree?
No, it doesn't fall out of the tree.
Limber.
But it can't perform actions that require use of that limb. So, who would like to go next? I guess that's Vuz. What would you like to do to this poor animal?
I'm gonna pull out my disruptor. I'm gonna aim. So I'll take 2. I'll take 2 strain for that, I think. Get 2 maneuvers. And I'm
Dissolving
going
this
to shoot
poor animal.
that beast. So what's the difficulty on that going to be?
Just short, just easy. It's short range with a setback because it's in the tree. So I'm going to say its front left leg gets ripped off, and then you deal how much more damage? Okay, it's dead. You just you just blast it. Just falls out of the tree, flumps to the floor, and just kind of goes and dies.
Oh, wait.
That is a very, very dead Nexu.
That poor kitty. Thar, what did you do to it?
I'm gonna take out my vibro knife and cut out its teeth.
Jesus Christ, Thar!
Could you make an average xenology check?
Oh shit! I've never heard of that.
I think it's intelligence.
Yeah, it's just
Oh well,
intelligence.
that's
Raw
4. I got
intelligence.
that right.
Yep. Just so that you don't just destroy the
Cut
teeth
my
as you
fingers
cut them
off?
out. There you go.
Hey!
You cut out some teeth. What would you like the advantage to do for you? You can recover some strain, I guess, because you feel
There's
pretty
a
good
random credit chip worth 1 credit in his mouth.
No, there is not a credit chip in this.
I have no idea what to do then. I'm sorry.
You can recover some strain. That's always an option, right?
Hey, there you go.
Because you do have some strain, and this forest is stressful.
So we got
Okay.
we got a wooden toy and some teeth. Hell yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Waldern,
One Nexu down.
Waldern, while we're up here, should I just go look at what the box has?
Well, we're going back to the ship anyway, so
Yeah, you need to go to the ship to do that. You don't have any equipment with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're up because we climbed up the wall. Disembodied voice.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the ship, I think.
That wasn't the escape pod that we were looking for, was it?
That was.
What would
Oh,
the
was?
check
Okay.
be to see if there's any part of the animal that's also particularly prized, Bob?
That would be that xenology check. If you wanted to take its head back as a trophy, then that would be like a... That you don't need to make a check to cut its head off, but it'll be like 3 encumbrance.
Oh,
It's kind of bulky. Kind of odd shape to carry, so... It's okay, you're just walking back to the ship, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I want to take its head off.
Oh
What?
my god.
Okay, you cut the head
Thar,
off.
what are you doing?
Dark red blood just kind of starts pooling on the
I'm gonna
forest floor.
sneer intently at this little animal and say, "You don't understand. We've been working pro bono for." I'm gonna point to my arm that's flopping at my side, and I'm gonna say, "Are you gonna pay?"
I mean,
No, I didn't think so. And I'm gonna start slogging the head behind me.
Just dragging it through the forest.
even if we're working pro bono, it doesn't mean that you too have to be a dick.
Take
We
your
are
strain.
talking about Thar here.
Can I get into combat with Corey?
I mean, if you want to,
We've done it before.
Player, you can totally. You can do it if you like, but
Punch him.
Okay.
Anyway,
We walk back to the
you
ship.
make it back to the ship. IT-3PO is waiting for you at the landing ramp. Did you find Captain Hassel?
I'm gonna make the droid carry this
Yes,
head.
Long dead, I'm afraid.
Do we know that was...
Really?
We found a dead guy in the hole.
Well,
Oh dear.
I'm just assuming.
What did the number say on the side? It was 2 Besh?
Besh 34.
Besh 34?
Close.
I don't know. Something.
Well,
Is
anyway,
that-
do you want to listen to the?
Yeah, I found this
Sorry.
black box. There was a body in there. Vernon, did you see what it looked like? I didn't.
It was almost certainly human.
Quite crushed.
Yes.
Do you remember Captain Harkness looking squished?
Harkness.
That's the other guy from much earlier.
Harsel.
Harsel?
No,
More so.
I mean, obviously, if he was injured in the crash, then perhaps. But let's see what this black box has to offer, please.
Okay, Arnott, get over here. Please.
Could you make an average computers check to get the files off the black
Average
box?
computer check. Please.
Okay, so the files contain the position of the Narshalor when the pod was launched, and there's a recording of the pod's descent to the planet. You hear there's a recording of voice traffic between the pod and the ship. Captain Harsel is condemning those who are abandoning ship without orders. There's a holographic recording of the pod's interior as well, showing 3 humans and 2 Nemoidians angrily cursing their luck for being forced to the edge of the galaxy due to Captain Harsel's greedy scheme and Kratala's political treachery against the Chancellor. The recording stops when the pod crash lands. IT-3PO turns to you, Vuz. None of the people in that recording appear to be Captain Harsel.
Okay, so that means
what
that
was
he's possibly still alive elsewhere. He probably wasn't the crushed one.
Indeed.
Hey,
Indeed.
Vernon, did you check that pod for anything of worth?
I was going to, and then you were. Well. Things
I mean,
happened.
I had him! And I'm gonna hold up the head really excitedly.
Please put that in a box. I do not
Blood
want
is
the
just
ship
dripping.
smelling.
Blood is just dripping on the floor.
Are boglings vegetarian or are they carnivorous?
It's definitely you can definitely hear it scratching in the vents above, sniffing around. You don't think it's in a hurry to eat anything of the of the Nexu head, but it's definitely excited by what's happening.
All right, you're gonna have to wait for dinner, Thar Jr.
He said I wouldn't try it, Corey. Get over here.
Who's
Okay,
Corey?
I think after that first exploration of part of the crash site, I think we'll take a short break so I can recover my voice a little.
All right, so we'll be back at 9:30, so that's 5 minutes from now, ish.
Sounds good.
We're gonna set up the ring so Thar and Vuz can finally duke it out.
Duke it out. Woo!
As we know has been coming since the first session. So I don't have the actual be right back thing yet, but we'll be right back.
You broke it.
My computer broke it.
droid around here.
All right. Anyone want to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets before I put the stream back on?
I'm pretty sure you already have.
Oh, you got me. You sniffed out my plan.
I actually fear rolling well.
That tracks. All right, we are back and ready to raid a munificent here on Christopher Walken Presents The Edge of Despair.
Indeed, the main crash site that you've detected from orbit, or low orbit, is some way ahead of you. You'll need to scan again to locate it more closely.
All right, so we're going to scan in a second, but first we're going to get to our giveaway for tonight. So we've got nothing. So, Waldern, should I scan towards the ship or should we take off first?
It'll be a lot easier to scan if you do take off first.
But do we trust Waldern to be able to fly?
I mean, taking off from here is going to be fine.
Okay.
There's
Waldern,
nothing special he needs to do for that.
The voice says you can go.
I follow what the voice says. No, we'll take off out of the
Everybody's
canopy.
going insane.
Yeah, we'll make sure to if IT's still on the scanners, we're probably still gonna actively scan to see if any other ships came in as we're going towards the main crash site.
All right, you don't seem to pick anything up on the sensors. Could you make an average computers check with 2 setback to scan?
Average computers check with 2 setback.
Again, if you want to remove the setback, you can make an average survival check first, but I think you're probably fine. Should have made that average survival check.
But we triumphed.
Triumphed against all adversary, including the fact that so you don't find the exact location of the anyway, sorry, dog upstairs. You don't find the exact location of the crash part. So what do you want the Triumph to tell you?
Well,
you know it's down this river valley, but you don't know where.
Is the advantage still being used for the same stuff as last time for the sensors, or?
No, so this is
Okay.
just the general scanning, so
I'm de-stressing myself.
Okay.
That for the Triumph, we don't find an Arsha lore, but we find an equally valuable recusant crashed in another.
You do find another crash ship, but it is not as equally valuable as the Narsha Lore, not whatever that ship. Narsha Lore, that's the one. Unfortunately, it's just it appears to be a light freighter along the same lines as the Avidon Hale, half buried in the forest. You can just see its engine sticking up out of the forest. And there's no life that you can see.
I'm not picking up the Schnarschnarlarn, but there's another ship down there. It's about our size. It's about our girth. Do we want to try to scan that closer, or?
Yeah, we can certainly try. From just remembering back, didn't the Yar clan also have freighters, right?
Yeehaw
They
clan?
had freighters similar to ours. Yes. I tried to pass it, but just wouldn't let it go. Yeah, so they also had freighters. Someone might have actually come here before us, trying to look for the ship.
Crash look recent.
It doesn't look well. The scanner doesn't really tell you how recent it looks, unfortunately. You just get a rough idea that it's kind of a nose down in the forest.
Are we able to get any general information about the ship, like ID or anything like that? Or
as I said, you can tell from its shape it's probably some kind of Corellian light freighter. That's about all you can get from it.
How far away from it are we right now?
Just a couple of kilometers.
Okay, I look out the window.
Okay, could you make a hard perception check?
I do have infrabinoculars, which has a 10-kilometer range.
I'd say
know if that
add
was-
2 setback, but there's no point because you have all of this equipment.
Why do you sound so disappointed with that, Bob?
It's like, it's fine.
Hard,
It's
you
fine.
said.
Yes, hard perception check.
It resolves.
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can tell it's a YT1200, a somewhat older model. It's definitely been crashed in the forest for some time. Your infrared binoculars pick out various creatures crawling over it. There's like vines all over it. It's almost like a tree has actually seems to have grown through part of the engine section. What would you like the Triumph to tell you?
Any ideas on that?
See any
maybe.
bodies around it? Like a
What if
Rhodian
you-
impaled on a tree?
Jeez. I don't know if we can even do something like this, but what if you see?
It's just been here for some time,
Mhm.
like quite a while, on the order of months to years kind of time frame.
Could it have some type of special equipment on the top? Like you can see, like a interesting gun on the top or something like that.
Bob, how does that sound?
Sure, it appears to have a instead of you guys just have a single cannon, right? It appears to have a double cannon. So basically, a straight upgrade to your existing weapon, if you could get it off. It looks to be in reasonably good condition, and it'll just take some time and work to take it off the top of the ship. Time that you maybe don't have now, but you can mark it and come back to it later.
Okay.
All right, let's put a bookmark here so we can fast travel to it eventually. Sorry, I mean travel fast. I always get those words mixed up. Should we just keep
Okay.
looking for the Narshalor then?
Yeah. Let's.
And you know where it is, like along that river. You know that it's along that river valley. You're just going to have to fly down low and look for it with your eyes, probably, if the sensors can't pick it up.
Vernon, maybe I don't seem to be able to do this. Should you just keep a physical eye out for it?
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so to fly down the river valley is going to take another hard piloting check.
Okay. Oh, this is actually the roll. No, I need a setback.
The handling isn't quite all that. Hey, look at that. The man manages to do it.
Does it?
He's still dragging a tree along under from last time he hit them, and it's jostling us around a bit.
You still manage to scrape the ship on a few trees and take another 2 system strain. But the ship is managing to hold together just about. So,
Did somebody else add the system strain or?
I just did it, yep.
Okay.
So if you want to take a look out the window, it's going to be a hard perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You see a narrow, winding valley ahead of you, cutting through the rugged and overgrown terrain, and you can see a small river. There's a rocky dam at the southern end, but you realize the dam's actually the rusted hulk of a ship, jammed between the rocky outcroppings of the opposing bluffs. The color's so similar to that of the surrounding rocks you couldn't pick it out before. You can see water pouring through huge holes in the hull, flowing through the decks and out through engines, until it plunges down a series of natural falls and continues south. You can identify from the schematics that you have, this is the aft engine section of the Banking Clan frigate.
Okay. So
The lake, by the way, is clear enough to see additional debris underwater, suggesting more of the ship is further along in the lake.
Oh
Okay.
man, I don't think we have any underwater gear.
That's okay. This is only the aft
agreed.
engine section. This is only like 200 meters of the ship.
Yeah.
IT, what are we specifically going to be looking for first? Do you have any suggestions on what our first steps should be?
Well, Fuzz, I would recommend that we search for the bridge section of the ship. The engineering section may tell us which direction the bridge section went.
But this is the engine section.
Precisely. I suggest you circle the area and look for the bridge section. You may need to land and explore yourself.
That sounds dangerous.
We'll be fine.
Do you
could the
not
free
even want to
advantage-
try to like fly over it first?
Fly over it.
for
I'll
that
make
free
one
advantage,
pass.
Could we make it so there are some decently clear markings to make that check a bit easier? Add some boost.
Sure. And that's from your advantage?
Yeah.
Well, I would say actually from the advantage, you can actually see a... I'm going to give you a bit more then. You can see like a spread of debris under the water that continues further along, down the valley, down the lake, towards the other end of the valley and the far end of the lake.
Okay.
And you think basically the ship crashed in that direction. So you know which way to go if you want to find the bridge section.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly pilot my way going that direction that Vernon guides me.
I'll
And
run a
we'll
sensor
try and-
scan.
Look up for the bridge. I'm gonna actively look while we're flying slowly for a place to land.
Okay, could you make another average computers check?
Any setbacks for that?
No. Okay. On the lake's eastern shore, you see what at first appears to be a large, irregularly shaped hill, randomly covered in vines and scraggly vegetation, partially concealed by the jungle canopy. Perched on the hill at a prominent but odd angle appears to be the ruins of a large building with most of the transparent steel windows broken out. You realize you're looking at the forward slope section of the Nasha Law and its bridge. It's facing northwest, toward the lake. Its forward shell-like hull is splayed, while the lower deck's buried and crushed into the old riverbank.
I think that's it. Waldron, over there, the hill. The hills with the eyes.
They're staring back at me. So I think that looks like the spot. I'll point IT over to that direction and say, "Is that what we're looking for?" The top
Judging
of the
by the
bridge there?
schematics you recovered and my knowledge of the Nasha Law, that seems correct. That appears to be the bridge section.
Okay.
It appears
let's-
remarkably intact, considering the crash.
That's good. Fortunate news. Okay, so we'll try and find a place to land. Hopefully, there's a clearing.
There are actually quite a few kind of beaches around along the lakeshore that you could land at. There are a few hundred meters from the bridge.
Okay, let's. I'll find a spot right over there.
If you want to hide the ship under the canopy of the trees, you can as well. That will require another hard piloting check. Otherwise, you don't require a piloting check to just land on the beach. It's pretty flat.
Guys, do you have any thoughts on that?
Let's hide.
Beaches
hide it?
sound like
Okay.
they're pretty.
Hiding
Beaches
sounds
sound
good.
like they're pretty easy to shoot at too.
Oh. But, okay.
So yeah, if you want to make that hard piloting check,
Yeah.
I'm going to upgrade that once because I can.
And then we died.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We crashed the ship.
That was supposed to be
Okay,
a joke.
so you managed to crash your ship into a tree.
Just had to go for the more covered area, didn't we?
So that's a critical hit. And one of the branches have become jammed around the Avidon Hale. So let me give this a whirl on the D100. Plus 20, of course, because you already have 2 critical hits.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what hits the Avidon Hale this time. That is a
65.
65. Okay. Navicomp failure. It's a good job you guys have an astromech, because the navicomputer on the ship itself is now broken. Ship cannot make the jump to hyperspace until the critical hit is repaired.
Okay.
The good news is you have
We found
an
another
astromech
ship.
droid. You have an astromech droid, right?
Yeah.
Who has a navicomp built in. So it basically means that if R0 gets damaged now or knocked out, you can't leave Cholgana. The ship is also kind of like bent, and all the branches are bent around the ship, and it's going to take some work and probably some laser cutters to get the branches off so that you can take off again. Basically, it was a wonderful bit of flying from Walden. You do have 5 advantage, though, so what would you like to do about that?
It's
You can always-
very well hidden.
The branches that flailed around me actually provided a lot of extra cover, so
Sure.
it's
Yeah, the ship
basically
is, like,
impossible
invisible.
to. Yeah.
You might not even be able to find your own ship. That's how.
Wait a minute.
Something like that, anyway.
Okay.
Okay. You can just about, like, now when the landing hatch opens, there's a bit of a jump down. But otherwise, it's fine. You can head off towards the bridge section.
This feels like eating the bug again.
Another happy landing.
No.
I hate you!
This is why we leave flying to droids. And after that set of way too many quotes from Revenge of the Sith, let's move on. Do you guys want to get yourselves ready to head out to the Nar Shalour and see what's left of it?
Yeah, I think we should get ready and go. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh man.
And that's strain, right? It's gotta be.
It's okay. I'm very kind. There'll be plenty of opportunities for strain later on. Technically,
by
it
the
wasn't a
way,
pun.
we didn't get discipline rolls at the end of combat with the next two.
That's true, you didn't. So if all of you would like to do a discipline or cool check, simple, and then recover strain with success.
I'll forego it.
Okay. And everyone else is... Thar, do you want to do that as well?
What check, sir?
A discipline or cool check to recover strain.
reduction.
Thar, disciplined. There we go. 3 success, so you recover all your strain except for the 1
Yeah.
that we all have because, fun times.
I do not need to do one since I'm at threshold.
Yep. Okay.
Actually, is my discipline and cool both as bad as I think it is? Cool
believe so,
1,
yeah.
discipline... No, discipline 3. Sweet. Willpower.
There you go.
I'll do it. 2
There
success.
you go. You
advantage.
recover 2 strain.
Okay,
All right.
so-
So feeling a bit better before you head out. How do you guys want to approach this?
I'll ask IT if he wants to join us on this part of the trek.
No, thank you. Well done. As before, please let me know if you find any sign of Captain Hassel.
You know the drill as well. Stay on the sensors. If you see anybody else, let us know.
Very well.
I'm going out with my disruptor drawn.
Do we want to
Okay.
bring Arnott with us?
Sounds unwise if the navcom's damaged. Although, do we know the navcom's damaged?
Yes, you know it's damaged. Like, basically, as you crash, like, it shook out of place. It just, like, and the lights just went off on it. It's just smashed.
I bring the beradium as well.
Okay. That seems like a totally reasonable
Gotta
thing
use
to
it
do.
sometime.
Just destroy the entire bridge section of the ship. Just the entire front part of the Munificent, gone. Because that's how big the explosion is, effectively. Because this front bit is about 500 meters long, so you take off a good chunk of it.
That sounds reasonable.
We can't get the information. No one can.
Yep. You're aware from the Could one of you make an easy computers or perception check?
Should I do easy computers?
Go for it.
Years.
Sorry about that. There we go. So you're aware with your schematic of the ship, you're aware that the vault, like the hidden vault on the ship, is in the lower decks. So this is the standard banking clan vault that comes with all of these munificence because that's what they're built for originally, and it's in the lower decks, and it's probably either buried or crushed into the ground. Accessing the vault itself is going to be possible, but it will take time climbing and cutting equipment to get in there.
Okay.
So accessing the vault itself on the ship will be very, very difficult.
So, in terms of cutting equipment, do we have anything like that available on our ship, or is that?
I believe
Like
the closest thing
common
you
with the
have
freighter?
is R0,
Okay.
because R0 has
Um,
a fusion cutter.
we can bring Arnott, and don't we still have a detonite charge?
The other thing I was gonna ask: do we think we can remove the fusion cutter off of Arnott and kind of put it on something that we could use?
Probably not. They're quite integrated into the
Gotcha.
body.
So the cutting needs to be precise, is what I'm hearing.
It doesn't necessarily need to be precise. There just might be a lot of it. So a single detonite charge might not get you all the way there. You don't know. You haven't been in the wreck yet. But what you know is the vault is in the bottom half of the ship, the lower part, which, as far as you can tell, is partially crushed as part of, or buried as part of the crash landing.
Do you know how well disruptors would work on metal? Hey, just
Shooting your way through would take a long, long, long time.
All right.
We do have some regular old charges, right? Or no, we did not find those.
Uh,
At the wheel.
You didn't find any extra detonite charges. You used all of them.
oh.
Just
Would
have radium.
for advantage,
Uh-huh.
the schematics may have come with some sort of additional droid control codes for some of the droid crew of the ship in case we were to come across certain...
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Or perhaps like engineering bay that may have thermal cutters there.
Yeah, there's definitely, you have a good idea of the layout of the ship from the plans. So there's definitely no problem with getting an idea of where to go to get tools if you think there might be some left on the ship. Bear in mind, the ship is, about 20 plus years in the crashed. So, see how it goes.
Yeah, Waldron, this ship has been in the crashed way too long. We might not be able to find anything.
Yeah, when it's been in the crash for such a long time, I don't know what.
And suddenly, Waldron and Buzz get attacked with...
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Take him out. We're done.
Okay, so do you guys want to get out and approach the ship?
Could extra reloads be rigged into an additional detonite-ish charge?
Yes, but it would be difficult.
Okay, I just have 3 of them, and I'm not going to bring them unless we think we might use them for something like that.
That's the kind of thing that would be a formidable mechanical challenge.
All right.
I do love mechanical challenges.
All right, I just dump the extra reloads on Buzz. Here, make these explode. When you want
Okay.
them to. Not right now.
Boop. Okay, are we all going in except we're bringing Arnott with us?
Up until we can find our own tools, yeah. He's
All
gonna
right.
come with us.
So it's just going to be IT left with the ship now?
And
Oh, and
leave
Lifty. Should we bring Lifty in case we need to lift things?
I think we're fine.
Oh, actually, Waldern, should you put any of the Lifty clamps in your backpack?
Oh, the
That's not a bad idea.
yeah, we have three of them. Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring. Let's see. I don't have them in my sheet, but you guys may have them in yours.
I think it's in the great purge of my equipment, but I'm gonna give it to you. So
It's
I'll
like
just find the name.
repulsor something.
Yeah, repulsor
in the gear.
grapple or something like that.
Repulsor clamp.
Repulsor clamp. That seems correct.
Encumbrance 3.
Yes,
Heavy.
repulsor clamp is it.
10 encumbrance.
So how many can you hold in your backpack?
I can hold. Well, it's encumbrance 3, so I would have to drop a few things for me to actually hold on to it. But it's something that I can definitely do. Like I don't need an urban compass here. I can drop that. I can drop the electro binoculars.
Are we going to need a bolinet inside a ship?
Probably not. Maybe.
And Thar got those for the Nexu, but
Give them back to me.
all right, you get one bolinet.
All right.
Okay.
Vernon, do you want to take my glop grenade? I can't carry it
yes,
if I'm
I
bringing
will.
the baradium charge and repulsor clamp with me.
I will take your Glock grenade.
Actually, I'll probably have to leave the baradium charge here if I'm taking the detonate charges that you gave me. So I'll take 8. How many detonate charges? 3?
You don't have detonite. You have baradium.
I thought he
Oh, yeah,
dropped
one.
stuff on me.
Yeah, I have 3 extra reloads, which Bob said you could use. You could craft.
You could maybe jury rig into a small explosive.
Okay.
with a daunting, was it?
Yeah,
He said formidable, which is 5
Formidable.
difficulty.
I'm sure that'll go. That'll go well.
Swimmingly.
All right.
They also weigh 1 encumbrance each.
All right. So I can take 2 of them.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm all squared away. Anybody else have repulsor clamps outside of me?
I have the
I think-
one on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have
Jesus
2.
Christ, Buzz, how do you carry all that stuff?
I'm at my full encumbrance with all that right now.
Okay. Good, good. Just checking.
I'm sitting at 8 out of 10 right now.
I'm at 6 out of 7.
Ooh. Okay, I think we're all squared away. Arnott's coming with us. We will depart the ship. Lifty will, I guess, man the gun.
Oh,
Personal
my
defense
Master
gun.
Walton. I don't think I'm quite equipped for that, but I will try my best.
You did well last time.
Lifty goes and sits in the gun.
Can't really see anything. It's just surrounded by trees.
Which one is most obscured?
The top one, probably.
Lifty goes and sits in that one.
I guess even the bottom one is just pointing towards the ventral gun is just pointing towards the ground. So, whichever they're both pretty useless right now.
Should we deploy the anti-personnel turret first? The automated one, just in case?
Yeah, we can.
Can't
The
hurt.
ground buzzer is also going to be rather ineffective. Its range is limited to short. by
Yeah,
the
but just
dense
in
foliage.
case when we're getting chased by a Nexu inevitably on the way back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, in we go.
Okay, you make your way through the forest towards the wreckage. Does anyone want to take a closer look at the wreckage from where you are? I say closer look. You want to take a look at the wreckage from where you are to see if you can see a way in, or do you just want to try and bumble your way through it?
We'll take a look at possible entry points, I think.
Yeah, so you can make a hard perception check.
We know where some of the general entry points are, but if there's any
You
ones
know where
for-
the official entry points are.
yeah.
When it was a flying spaceship.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hard perception. Excellent. Someone's obviously tried to camouflage the ship with a makeshift netting of leaves and vines. And it looks like portions of the ship have actually been stripped for salvage. And you can see through the foliage what seems to be a large old encampment that's just off to one side between you and the ship. Apart from that, you can definitely see there are many ways into the ship. The hull has been ripped open in multiple locations where you could climb in, and there's a few escape pod launch tubes have been converted into makeshift entry points. And in theory, if you can get the ship out of the trees, you could fly up to the bridge section and try and dock with the bridge section in some way.
If only we had a functional ship.
So that's what you can glean from your look around.
All right. With that 2 advantage, I'm just going to recover strain.
So the advantage revealed the camp.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that leads us to believe that there were survivors here.
At some point, as far as you can tell, there were survivors somewhat near the time of the crash, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to do?
Okay.
I'm just gonna go in. See you guys later.
Yeah, are the escape pods the easiest entry point here?
They definitely appear to be, yes.
Okay. I think we'll just navigate through that. Some of those other ones seem a little too treacherous to try to...
Hey, wait, Bob. The stuff that's like drenched over the ship to intentionally try and conceal it. What's the scale of which? Like, is this something that a normal, bipedal alien could do, or something?
It looks like it would have taken quite a lot of people to create such a netting to try and cover such a large area. It's clearly not sufficient, but
I mean, we found it, so yeah.
There's an attempt. There
was an attempt.
Clearly, the people who crashed here and survived wanted to hide the ship. So I mentioned the encampment. Do you want to go to the encampment first or to the ship first?
Well, okay. So does it, at least from Vernon's perception check, did it appear like there's any movement in the encampment, or was it
no?
Pretty...
It seemed old.
Okay.
It seemed like remains rather than anything that's currently living.
Okay. I think we'll just do a quick glance in there, just look for any tools if we can find any, and if we don't find any, then we're good to go.
Okay. So you walk over to the camp. It's under the jungle canopy, just north of the ship and away from the shore. There's heavily overgrown ruins. There's shacks, rock-encircled fire pits, and similar kinds of structures. If you want to search the camp, you can make a hard survival check.
Okay. Vernon, do you want to assist me with that one?
Yeah, you have 2?
I have 2 proficiency.
Okay, so it should
and you would be 4 cunning or 5 cunning?
5 cunning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go
I
ahead.
think that's the roll? Okay. You sure you want me to roll this?
On second thought.
Hey!
So the camp seems to have held between 30 and 50 people. Judging by tree growth within one of the shacks, that it's been abandoned. It's been abandoned for about 20 years. So basically, this place was very, very short. It wasn't used for very long after the ship crashed. There's bits of metal, trash, broken technology. It's all just overgrown and abandoned, and clearly has been for a couple of decades now.
Anything that looks broken but slightly useful to us, like the
no,
cutter?
it's all just junk. It looks like if there was anything useful, it's all been taken.
Okay.
So it looks like the camp was packed up, not like...
It was at least partially. Like the stuff that's left is clearly just refuse, not like useful equipment or anything like that.
Okay.
With the 2 advantages, is there anything like personal mementos that were left over here? Something that we could possibly glean from the people that were there?
It seems like there's... You actually, searching through, you managed to find there's a nearby burial site. Looks to be about 20 graves. Some of them have makeshift markers. There's some crew names scratched into the surface of some rusted metal plate. Looking at the names, there's no mention of Captain Harsel.
I'm gonna mention the names back to the ship to see if IT can recognize any of those from crew manifests.
Yes, Master Walden. Unfortunately, some of those people appear to have been crew members on the Nar Shalour. Captain Harsel not being among them still gives me hope, though.
Only some of them?
Well, yes. The crew consisted of around 100 organics. And, of course, many battle droids.
Do you know
Okay.
who the other names could have been? Were there like other people on the ship?
Are you a battle droid?
Well, when I say battle droid, I, of course, mean the general set of droids that were there to run and maintain the ship.
I mean, you could still be a battle droid.
I don't think it looks like a battle droid.
It looks basically like 3PO.
I mean,
So-
we all saw the prequels.
So, anywho, goodness gracious. Yeah, okay, so that leads me to believe, okay, so there's like 50 or so in the camp here, 100 or so were in the ship, so like half of them survived, and then from that, another half of them died here, and then they moved, is what it seems like.
That sounds
Um,
likely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good to know that it's this crew. It's not some other people that have found this ship.
Well, this does appear to be the wreck of the Nar Shalour. Congratulations.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, let's go through the escape pods and actually try to make our way through the ship.
Okay, climbing up through the escape pod tubes is still going to be an average athletics or coordination check.
Okay, let's
And
see.
there's a setback because it's dark.
Okay.
We do have the
Pistol?
pistol.
I think
It's not
still
that steep of a
average.
slope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any slight incline we come to, just ascension pistol.
Ascend!
Just dragging us along the
I don't
Like
want to
the problem is you
uphill.
can't see deep enough up the tube to know if there'd be anything for it to attach to.
Oh, I can. Just saying.
Okay, so who was that?
That's
Climbing
me.
up the tube? That was okay. Walden makes it up the tube. You're in a dark, dirty, dank corridor.
Dank,
Just kind
bro.
of yes, dank. There's water dripping from the ceiling. Who would like to go next?
I will go. I will take the ring to Mordor.
One setback, unless you remove setback from coordination checks.
I do not. Okay, this is gonna go well, isn't it?
Okay. So you managed to make your way up the slope, but part of it collapses underneath you, increasing the difficulty for whoever wants to go next, because they have to pick
Sorry.
their way around it.
Thanks, Chungus.
Wow.
I'll go next.
So
You're
now it's
a
going to be a
chungus.
hard athletics or coordination check, as you have to avoid the collapsed. Obviously, you can remove the setback for dark
Because it's
conditions.
due to
Yeah. Also, technically, you could have as well, because you're a Salonian.
Oh.
The one time it comes up and you forget about it.
Well, you
Amazing.
told me to setback.
Yeah, and then you're the one who's meant to say, but I can remove it, GM.
I thought it was other setback because I already removed. Okay.
Then you ask why.
I just like to listen to the
Oh.
You
GM.
stupid.
Okay, so you take a strain. You don't manage to make it up the tube. Well, I'm going to say you managed to make it up the tube, barely. But what do you want the Triumph to do?
Pat the
I know
ground
I'm
back
good
to
with
position.
So let me see. There's an I believe there's a guide for Triumph with athletics in the skills section. This is something I recommend you look at if you're not sure what to.
that would imply
Use
that I
them on.
remember to open the stupid book and have it available.
You can perform it with impressive results. So you can impressively. So that's the suggestion.
So I can just
Reduce the
impressively
difficulty
fail
for
my way
Thar
up it.
by showing him the way.
Me
You
give
know
me
what?
a
that's-
boost.
Yeah. Whatever I do knocks something loose and just it makes a stairway.
Stagger your way up.
Yeah. But the stuff I knock down just makes it perfectly easy for Thar.
Okay, so that's just going to be an average difficulty again. You've managed to solve the hole that the threat made. So, Thar, could you make an average coordination or athletics check to climb up this escape pod?
Ooh, this is
Hole?
ooh.
I believe in you.
Average or hard? What was it?
Average, so just 2. And a setback because it's dark.
Clonk.
So you slide, you make your way like halfway up, but then slide back down again and end up at the bottom of the escape pod shaft.
I'll see you guys later. It was nice knowing you.
What would you like your one advantage to do in this wonderful situation?
I'll just pass on a boost to whoever does whatever next.
So, do you guys want to try and help Thar get up there, or are you just going to leave him at the bottom of the shaft?
Can he shoot his ascension pistol up and then we like pull him up with our combined strength?
Yeah, you can give that a go. That sounds reasonable. Are you agreeing to that, Thar?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
So you shoot the pistol up, and it just kind of clatters to the floor at the top edge of the.
So we're basically your anchor point at this point instead of.
So I think Thar is a hard, and it's going to just be pure strength. So it's just going to be a hard athletics check. Has to be athletics because this is pure strength.
Yeah, that's.
So.
Yeah.
Aren't they pulling you up?
Pull myself up through them.
It's fine. I'll allow.
We're
that.
basically the anchor point, so we can't pull him up. We're all weaklings.
Yeah,
You're
just
little baby.
might barely exceeds Thar's.
I accidentally pull the droid down.
So you managed to make it up, and you're all in this dark, dripping corridor.
This is gross.
This is amazing.
This is basically so. If you remember the bit where Grievous cackles his way into an escape pod, it's basically that room.
In
So there's
reverse.
Sorry,
just
did you say
empty-
wasted opportunity?
No.
It's what Grievous is.
Oh, right. Whatever. Anyway, so most of the escape pods appear to have been launched. A couple of them look like they malfunctioned. So there's essentially just kind of water dripping down the sloping deck towards and draining out of the escape pods, and where the escape pods were. And ahead of you is, you can just kind of see dimly in what little light there is, there appears to be some kind of corridor heading off into the deeper parts of the ship.
So should we try to find Captain Hassel, or should we try to find the vault first?
I don't think the survivors are in the local area.
I really feel like I should try and remove one of these problems. I'm going to point to the wounds in my body.
A derelict ship with a bunch of rust and serrated edges and dank water does seem like a great place to do surgery on yourself.
You're right. That's why I was going to walk you through it.
Okay, you want to sit here in the dark and have Vuz attempt
Actually,
to
yeah.
heal you.
I'll try.
I want
it.
to.
I'll give him a medical check.
So before, while this is happening, I realize we have to get Arnott up here.
Oh,
You
Oh,
do?
for fuck's sakes.
Oh, God.
Is Arnott is just at the bottom, just like going.
Did you guys forget about me?
Arnott, can you get up here? Assist any character? No. Assist you may perform one skill. No, I don't have that.
I mean, you can use Speaks Binary. And
I
help
don't.
him.
I don't think I have Supreme, which is the one that I need to make him use my skills. Because Speaks
I mean,
Binary
you can still give him
improved.
boost.
Can
Well,
we,
Speaks
like,
Binary
just use
is
the
it's the
pistol around
reverse
him?
for that. Where if I tell him to do something,
Oh.
he gives an
Oh.
additional boost to the person doing the thing.
Oh,
I can't.
Right.
But he has jetpack legs, so he can do whatever he wants.
No, he doesn't. This R2 unit or R0 unit does not, in fact, have jetpack legs.
I thought that was a standard feature.
It is not a standard feature, no.
Wasn't a feature until George Lucas decided to have a stroke on set.
So, how much is the encumbrance of Arnott?
I want to say like 5.
5. If I put him on a repulsor clamp, like on my back, could I like scale up with him?
I mean, yeah, you can give it a try.
Okay. I'll jump back down again. Not
So
jump back down. I'll climb back down. So
You
whatever.
climb back down. Climbing back down is a lot easier than climbing back up, so there's no check there. But
Okay.
getting Arnott up with you is going to be a hard athletics check.
Hard athletics. Well, okay. Arnott, I can't lift you up here.
Hold on a
Well,
second.
actually, I mean, technically, how much encumbrance does the clamp cover?
10.
Okay, then yeah, it can be coordination, but it's still hard because you have
Yeah.
an
Wait,
extra
hold
wobbly
on.
thing on your back.
He's
Okay.
just floating, isn't he?
Yeah, but you still have to keep him in the clamp. Like,
Yeah.
he's clamped, but I mean, it's still an extra weight
it's not
swinging
like a-
around. Even he's not just like magically. His inertia is still there.
It's
Oh,
awkward.
I was
weight.
thinking pull him up with the grapple.
He can't hold on to things.
The clamp has a handle, doesn't it?
I
Tie
mean,
around the handle.
So what you're saying? Well, it's a bit late now because Walden's climbed down. So
It's fine. Just go. It's fine. We're fine.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
there you go. You managed to get him up there with 2 whole advantage. What would you like those 2 advantage to do for you on this fine ship exploring day?
So I don't know if this is necessarily something I could do with the advantage. Does Arnott have like a light that he could like
Yeah,
put-
Arnott
can he
has
have
a-
flashlight
yeah, sure.
attachment or something like that?
Yeah, no problem. Arnott turns on his hollow
For the half
projector
of
onto
us who
flashlight
can't
mode.
See in the dark.
Yeah, which is just Thar and Walden technically.
And me.
So yeah, but you can
No,
see in
Corey,
the
we
dark.
just covered
Remember?
Oh, I got that
Silence count?
reversed. I thought you were saying it the other way around. I was wondering why
No,
Thor
no.
could do it, but
Okay, so yes, Arnott turns on his hollow projector onto flashlight mode
all right.
and lights up the way ahead.
While that was
you can
happening,
now see. You can now see further down the corridor as Arnott's light sweeps the corridor. You see things in the darkness skitter away. Could you all make a hard fear check, please?
first, while that was happening, though, I was doing the medical check.
The what? Oh, the medicine check
Yeah.
on Thar. Okay. Could you make the appropriate difficulty medicine check for the critical injury with 3 setback because of the terrible conditions to be doing medicine in?
We got this. Do
Uh,
I give him a boost because I'm instructing him?
what was
Yeah,
the
you give him a
appropriate
boost.
difficulty?
Whichever's the easiest one. So I think he has an easy crit. No, he doesn't. He has 2 average crits. So pick an average crit and add 3 setback.
Which one do you want back?
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. It just get rid of scattered senses. I don't want to be scattered.
All right.
So then your medicine is 5 green, 5 ability dice, and a boost.
Could spend one of those destiny points.
We could, but then he'll have more back. I got this. Oh, okay. Someone else got this.
Oh no!
You do not, in fact, have this. You fail to heal his critical injury. And now it's another week before he can have another go.
But part of why I failed is I was distracted by something useful and shiny for our exploration that I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye.
What?
Yeah, you notice what looks like a as you look down the corridor, as you're not really paying attention to the medicine you're doing, you can see daylight lighting up a chamber at the end of the corridor. It appears to be something that's probably interesting.
Hey, Thar? What do you think's over there?
I want to strangle him.
So I'm just imagining Homer Bart kind of strangling going on right now.
Yes.
Why are you little?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Don't have a cow, man. All right, now we're afraid of stuff.
Yes, now could you all make a hard fear check, please? Because of the light revealing creatures skittering away in the dark. And you've already had a run-in with a creature, and it wasn't that much fun. Though, obviously, it went better than I expected.
Wait,
So yes, hard discipline checks, please. Hard discipline checks.
when you say we're seeing creatures skittering around in the dark, is that like a large creatures are we seeing? Or are we seeing small
You
creatures?
couldn't really tell. You couldn't really tell. They look, they didn't look friendly. They didn't sound friendly.
Fuzz is
Not
unafraid.
afraid. Incredible.
He's so unafraid. He likes
Covers
skittering
his
creatures. He reduces his stress by 1.
Is Thar afraid?
I ain't never been scared in my life.
Wait, what
Except
were you
from
rolling?
earlier.
Is your willpower 4 now?
What?
Your willpower.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
re-roll that. Whoop.
Discipline is willpower. You rolled 4 ability dice.
Yeah, I suck. More than 11. Hold on. What's
Your discipline
Should have
is
3.
actually 3. Yeah,
might be?
there should be 3v3.
I'm actually about to be afraid. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute.
You somehow roll a despair.
Hell yeah. Let's do this. Aha!
You are indeed afraid. You gain a setback for the next until I
Psych?
say otherwise. So I guess that setback that you already have just sits there for now. It's perfectly positioned.
As all
Okay,
things must be.
indeed. Who wants to go next?
I
Find out if they're
believe I'm
afraid.
exempt.
As a droid?
No,
Oh, because you got the triumph.
triumph.
Yeah, so your
Yeah.
next fear check is exempt. Okay, yeah, so you're fine. Walden,
Robots can be afraid?
Here we go.
they
Apparently.
can be.
No.
3PO spends all of the original trilogy and prequel trilogy afraid.
What is that?
What is what?
It's a failure.
With 3
Suck.
threats.
Yeah, so
He pisses himself.
Was
Basically.
the wildlife or he's been to this type of planet before, so he didn't have to roll last time. Is that no longer
Yeah.
fine?
Well, this is a different situation.
yeah, this
I've
is
been
a
on.
area.
I've been
He's in
the
a
jungle
dank
before.
dungeon. Like, what?
So take 3 strain, please. And of course you fail, so you do have a setback on all your rolls for the next while. So yeah, 3 strain and a setback for the
It'll
rest
be
of it.
fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Okay, do you want to head down towards the barely lit chamber?
The one with
Yeah.
the light coming from it. Is that what you're?
The interesting one I found?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and head down there, readying my weapon.
I'd like to look through the wall before we round the corner.
You want to what at the what now?
I want to look through the wall before we go around the corner.
Through the wall, you don't really see anything of interest, just some more damaged ship corridor with no lighting. You all cautiously make your way along the corridor and reach what appears to be the ship's sensor array control room, judging by the plans you have. There are computers tall as the ceiling, which are burnt out or horribly corroded. Many bits of the pieces seem to have been broken or chiseled off. There's a large section of decking missing, where an explosion obliterated much of the compartment and its equipment. Do you want to search the area?
Yeah, let's look for. Yeah, so let's. What do we want to look for specifically here?
You make a an average perception check.
Average is 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. You find a toolkit covered by a tarp in the corner. It appears someone was recently trying to remove a security scanner, but temporarily abandoned the job and covered it to conceal it.
Was it
Recently,
recently
as
covered?
in
Yeah, recently. So within the last week, days, that kind of time period. The tarp
Okay.
doesn't look as rusted or damp as the rest of the area. And the toolkit looks to be in not good condition, but workable.
I'm going to point Buzz towards it.
I'm going to look for any kind of cutter in the toolkit.
Now, you already have a toolkit, technically.
His toolkit's on his armor, so he
Yeah.
doesn't have that armor anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's wearing an environmental suit.
This just appears to be a toolkit full of what would be called dumb parts, I suppose, in Star Wars. It's all just stuff that doesn't require power. Wrenches, hammers, chisels,
Hydro
that kind of
spanners.
thing. Not
Do
even
hydro
hydro
spanners
spanners,
take
just
power?
ordinary spanners.
Oh man.
No, there's no, like, clearly whoever used these did not have access to any kind of power packs.
So uncivilized.
But they were trying to remove something.
Is there any
They
sign?
appear to be trying to remove a security scanner.
Does it?
So what were you going
Can I
to
check
ask?
if it seems
Yes.
like the scanner's active or any of the computer systems in the room are active?
They're all completely burnt out and damaged. The scanner itself that was being attempted to be removed looks like it could maybe be got working again, but it would take a lot of effort.
Is there any way I can give that a shot using? No, we don't have anything that's scannery, do we?
You also don't have any power supplies.
Yes,
We have Arnott
do. We have power
and Vernon.
packs.
Arnott, I suppose. Yeah, Arnott would be
The
more appropriate than the blaster
Extra
packs.
reloads. Would those
I would
be-
definitely prefer. I would definitely recommend using Arnott rather than an extra reload to power a security scanner.
Oh, what are you talking about?
If you want to try and attach Arnott to the security scanner and boot it back up, that's going to be a daunting
Okay.
mechanics check.
Daunting mechanics. Okay.
Yep. So 4 difficulty.
All right, Arnott. This is this like I do this if it works and that's it for Arnott, or is this like this doesn't impact him if it goes
shouldn't.
well?
It shouldn't affect Arnott. It'll
Okay.
drain some of his power, but Arnott is charged on the ship quite regularly, so it's not a problem for Arnott.
Do you guys mind if I flip a card, any card?
Go for it. Yeah, do it.
Is this your card?
All right, I'm gonna make this 5 proficiency. If this doesn't work out for us, then hey,
Wow. Okay.
so
You find a recording of the last moments of the bridge, which is still readable. Arnott plays back the audio and video as best he can. Pilots and engineers are desperately trying to regain control of the ship as it's plummeting towards Chalgana's surface. Their faces are contorted in fear and desperation. Most of the bridge is actually being run by organic life forms. There are a few B1s, but it's more organic than you're used to seeing in, like, when you hear about the separatists and so on. Pacing back and forth is a young Captain Harsel. You recognize him from the information that IT gave you. And he's barking orders from the bridge. At his side, there's a white-haired Arcanian woman looking on in despair, bracing herself for the impending impact. Harsel stops without warning, shouts out one last command, then pulls the woman to the floor for cover. As she falls, you see her stark white eyes grow wide with terror. And then the playback scrambles and cuts out. What would you like your advantage and triumph to do?
is there any way to see if it's connected to any other possibly working security systems on the ship, either for live video feed or for...
There does not appear to be any powered cameras left on the ship.
Okay, so anything on the ship is just 100% dead. No residual powers.
No, there's nothing. It's been here 20 years and it crashed. It's not doing any good.
Does this system that we have currently working have any sort of like actual scanner built in that we could use from that? With the Triumph?
Yeah, it appears
advantage?
that. It appears that. Well, I'll give you something from the Advantage actually, but from the Triumph, yeah, you can use it as a handheld scanner.
Okay, cool.
As long as it's connected to Arnott, you can use it as a handheld scanner, and it'll give you a boost to any perception checks you do.
Okay, is there any sort of like, is it something that is detachable and coming with us, or is it like a console that's attached to the floor and we're not moving it?
It depends. I mean, you plugged Arnott into it. If you want to remove it from the console, that will be probably just a hard mechanics check.
Okay, so that is something we can do though.
Yes, and take it with you and use it as a scanner.
All right.
Now, the advantage, I will say, is that you can tell that this recording appears to have been doctored, maybe? It doesn't appear to be necessarily an accurate reproduction of what happened. It's not clear why it's like it is, but it has been edited in some way.
Well, I've seen a lot of shops in my time, and I feel like this isn't... No, shit.
Can you tell from the hollow pixels?
I kind of feel like I wouldn't know that though. This video looks weird.
And you can tell looking at the files as you as it does just look. There's something weird about the way it cuts out. It doesn't seem like that's the actual end of the recording. It looks like part of it has been deleted rather than naturally being damaged in the crash.
It didn't look like they were crashing at the end of that. It just looks like someone shut off the camera or something. Can I try to recover? See if there's any way to...
Definitely it's not in a good enough shape to be able to recover anything that was deleted.
All right,
like,
I'm just going to
decayed off now.
Yank it out then.
Okay, so you want to make your hard mechanics check to yank it out. Yep. How did that die end up like that? But I will say that yanking was completely successful. So successful that you somehow got 5 advantage and a triumph. So I'm going to say it upgrades perception checks, if you like.
Sweet.
It upgrades perception checks in the ship. What would you like? That would be the triumph or the advantage. You can decide what to do with the advantage or the triumph.
So kind of retroactive, but I kind of want to use part of the. Well, is that video playbackable still, or is it?
Yeah, you can play it back as many times as you like.
I'd like to play the video back over the comm somehow, or like transmit it to IT, and there's some sort of useful information about either the woman or Harkness, or not Harkness.
Okay.
I'm going to keep calling him that, but that.
Okay. IT responds over the comm. That does indeed appear to be Captain Harsel, possibly during the crash. The woman with him, the Arcanian, is Kratala, the cybernetics specialist.
Gritala?
Kratala. C-R-A-T... Hang on, where is it spelled again? I do not remember how it is spelled, which makes me feel dumb. C-R-A-T-A-L-A. Kratala.
Okay.
It is quite likely that if you say this video has been doctored in some way or parts deleted, that Captain Harsel had the forethought to pretend that everyone died in the crash.
Even the people who dug their own graves outside during the crash?
I do not think he expected people would find that part of the settlement.
That seems like he's kind of dumb.
I cannot comment on Captain Harsel's entire motives, but it appears he was doing his best to dissuade people from considering that he was still alive.
So when were you on the ship last?
During the Clone Wars.
Why weren't you on it when it crashed?
I was working on the behalf of Captain Harsel.
What were you doing? Was it fun?
It was enjoyable, yes.
What was it?
I am not at liberty to discuss this.
Ah, come on.
I am not at liberty to discuss this.
Ah, come on.
This goes on for another 10 minutes.
Oh, come on!
Okay.
The droid sounding exactly the same every time.
But sounding more enthusiastic every time.
Yeah.
Are there any other pathways further up the bridge that we could try to traverse?
Sure, you'll have to head back to the corridor to head towards the bridge. And if you want to head towards the bridge, it's a bit more of an upward slope, so that'll be another average athletics or coordination check.
Okay. I'll go ahead.
And I'm going to assume whoever's bringing R0 with them increases the difficulty once. And don't forget to add setback for your fear.
Yes. So that should be my roll right there. Carrying R0 as well.
Yep, no problem. You make it back up the corridor and head towards the bridge.
coordination when set back hard, or was
You're
the
not,
You're
I don't believe
average.
you're afraid,
Average.
are you?
Oh yeah,
You're
right.
not-
No afraid, no fear.
Yep. Yeah, this part of the ship is better lit, mostly because the top half has been just rusted away a lot more. So, yep, you managed to make it and take a strain because it's pretty tiring because it's quite a steep slope.
I think I'll just rest here for a second.
Thar?
Sorry,
Oh,
I
that
just
was-
fucking
this
cut
is
myself.
Vernon.
What?
Jesus.
It's not that kind of show. Okay. So, yeah, Vernon makes it up, no problem.
I'm going to recover a strain.
Yep, sounds reasonable. And Thar. Yeah.
Athletics, right?
Yep, athletics or coordination, whichever you prefer, and you're better at athletics.
Oh
So-
my
That
goodness.
went rip.
You're just
Once again, Thar just kind of like scrabbles his way up, takes a strain, and doesn't quite get as far as he was hoping. You're kind of halfway along the corridor as everyone else is just walking past you casually.
I walk back, clip my repulsor clamp to Thar, start pushing him
Oh
up.
God.
Yeah, you manage to eventually get Thar up. It takes a bit longer than you expect. And you're at what appears to be a kind of security room. There are lockers, kind of a barracks maybe. There are some fittings on the wall. That's all that's left of the mounts from the jump seats where Marines who were tasked with protecting the bridge were once assigned. The locker doors have been removed and the room has been stripped bare.
Is there any computer system around?
No, and there definitely isn't one that would be active even if there was one. Otherwise, it's just been basically the room has been stripped.
Okay.
You can see a blast door ahead, which leads to the turbo lifts, which move up to the bridge control tower. Obviously, the turbo lifts are not operational, so you'd have to climb up the turbo lift shaft to reach the bridge itself.
Thar, do you have the ascension pistol still?
Hand it to him.
Well, actually, already through the door. Well, we know that that's what's up there, anyways.
Yeah,
right?
you can see that. You can look through the blast door. There's like light coming down the turbo lift shaft. There's like a smashed up lift that you can see, just like the roof of it, just below the blast door. The blast door itself is just ripped apart, and otherwise, it's just going up to the. You know from the schematics that turbo lift goes up to the bridge.
So throughout our traversal in here, have we noticed any like or I shouldn't say man-made because it's all man-made, but like any ways to like somebody's put ropes here or somebody's put a ladder here or something like that where
You haven't
somebody's
noticed
tried to
anything
traverse
like that.
before?
Because you haven't really looked for it either. So, but you haven't in particular noticed anything inside the ship where people have clearly made it easier for themselves, aside from what you thought the escape pod entrances were. They looked like they'd been possibly purposefully emptied and cleared out.
I'm gonna look for any signs of life or lived-inness in this area with my helpful perception upgrade.
Okay, sure. So if you could make a hard perception check to search the area.
Skilled assist with that.
Skilled assist. Does that upgrade it once? Or
No,
So your
uses
so
my proficiency.
yeah, your scanner upgraded it once, and then then you can upgrade it as many times as
I have 3.
Yeah. Well, it would actually use your cunning because your cunning is higher. So it would use the base cunning and upgrade it once. So it'd be 5 with 1 proficiency. But specifically, Vuz is doing the searching. So,
okay. I misunderstood how those work. Sounds good.
and that's actually like that.
okay.
There you go.
So my start point is 1 proficiency, then I have an upgrade from the thing, then I have whatever Vernon's bringing to the table.
Yep.
Okay. Roop.
Okay. There's definitely no life forms at this height in the structure, as far as you can tell. But you do find a vibro knife with a magnetic hilt, which is concealed inside the top of one of the lockers. The vibro knife is still in working order. It just needs to be charged.
Thar, you want a knife?
Oh, absolutely.
You already got
Sorry.
one, right?
I'm gonna hand him my other knife and take the other.
No, you can keep
So
both.
this-
I'm not a knifey kind of guy.
So this one, the one you have is it's not actually. I said it's not active as a vibro knife. It's not charged, but it has a magnetic hilt attachment, which I believe means that you can draw it without using a maneuver. Something like that. You'd have to look it up. Point
You can
is,
pick it
it's
up
a
off the
slightly
ground without a maneuver. I believe
So-
it's the.
okay. It's an upgraded vibro knife.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but a vibro knife that's not on is just
A knife.
like
yeah.
an escalator temporarily stairs situation.
Yes, it's currently just basically a combat knife with a magnetic hilt.
Sorry for the
Attachment.
convenience.
Sorry, indeed. Okay.
Hey, you know what? A plague upon all your houses.
Doth Plagueis?
Okay, so I'm guessing we need to scale that turbo lift.
If you want to reach the bridge, yeah.
Yeah, if we want to reach the bridge. The thing is, like everything up here, there's not really much left. It's all picked completely clean.
It may be
And
hard for
there's
people to
no
get up
signs
there,
of-
though. So
Yeah.
we have an ascension pistol. Most people don't.
How far is that? Like, would the drop be if I fell?
If you fell from the top of the turbo lift to the bottom, that would be medium.
Okay.
It's a long drop, and it looks daunting to climb up there because there's no real the turbo lift shaft is quite wide.
Mhm.
There's no real space to abseil very easily. It looks like a very difficult climb to get to the bridge.
Should I try it? Or do you want to? Who's our best climber?
Probably me, but then again, we can. That ascension pistol is. I don't know the range on an ascension pistol.
Oh, it'll easily reach. There's no
Okay.
problem with that. But you don't know if it would actually lock onto anything at the top
Yeah,
and so on. It's a risky
Vernon?
proposition that you can attempt if you like.
I can definitely try. At minimum, let's try the ascension. Like I can try
Vernon,
shooting the ascension.
Can you
pistol.
see if there's anything to latch onto up there with your 10 kilometers of sight?
What do your elven eyes see?
What's your
I don't think
manufacturer?
he has 10
IC?
kilometers of seeing through things. How much range do you have on the seeing through things power?
I believe 2 meters.
That is not enough. That is not enough.
Yep, up
two-
to
2 meters is-
Wait, so what is it that we're seeing through?
Walls.
No, but because obviously if we're going to be able to shoot it in the first place, we'd have to think it's open, right? What are we...
You can look up the turbo lift. You
Yeah.
can just about see at the top there's an open blast door where the bridge is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and
And
hook
light
it
is
onto
shining
like the
through.
corner of the door or something like that. That's what. Yeah.
I would say that would be like an average range light check
I can try that.
with a setback because your hands are shaking because you're a bit
Yep.
scared.
Who's our best range lighterer?
It's definitely me.
He has 5 agility.
Okay. That's good. I thought it might be Vernon.
I've upgraded it a lot, but still, that extra dice, I believe, is better.
Okay, yeah, it lands up there, wraps around the door and clamps on. The little light saying that you've got tension on the pistol goes green. I'd assume it would have something like that anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, bing! This is a safe rope.
Nope.
I mean, why wouldn't you design a pistol that can tell you that, you know?
Your ascension is ready.
Yeah, basically. How are you going to get Arnaut up there?
He can wait.
That ain't happening. Okay, so the rope's ready to go. If somebody could just use the ascension pistol like it normally is used, then that
Thar.
would be average.
Yep.
Like to lift yourself up with the
Yeah,
gun
if someone
itself.
wants to just go up on their own and just scout the bridge, you can do that. And that would be
I-
average difficulty.
Buzz, I would think that you could do that.
Okay. Up we go. So, average coordination,
I mean, it would be average athletics because you're having to hold on to the pistol with your strength to not fall off.
average athletics. Okay, I'm gonna fucking die if we do that.
If you climb up the rope, it's daunting, right?
Yeah,
I'd
because it's
honestly,
just kind of free swinging, and there's like water dripping down and stuff.
So what was the alternative? What was the
Hard, average athletics.
average athletics? Okay. I think this is
You upgrade. Yeah. You want to
I'm
upgrade?
upgrading this once. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Good luck, Vaz. We hardly knew ye. God damn it. You take 1 strain.
Oh
It's
no.
a bit tense. It's a bit tense going up there, but you managed to make it to the top. What was once the bridge is now overgrown with vines, moss, and strange flowering plants. Consoles and electronics have been stripped from their housing, and transparency or windows once shattered or missing. Even the seats have been salvaged. On closer inspection, the shadows seem to crawl, and you can make out small insects and strange amphibians inhabiting the crevices. At the rear of the compartment is a bulkhead leading into the dark recesses of the abandoned hulk. The bulkhead door has been removed, apparently by fusion cutter. So that's you. You basically, as you look back, you can see the bulkhead door that you came through has been removed by fusion cutter.
Okay. So that was the only exit I'm seeing from the room. It's that one. Okay.
The one you came through. Yeah. And obviously, all the windows. If you want to jump out a window.
Where's the nearest insect?
Do this. Don't do
There's
it.
one like on the wall next to you.
Grab it. Eat it.
Okay. You don't suffer any ill effects. It's kind of crunchy.
Waldern.
Yes.
Kind of crunchy.
I didn't want to hear that.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I legitimately just did cut myself. Sorry,
Oh,
Ow, what were you doing?
I was crafting.
you were crafting?
I just imagine Thar just like whittling in the corner. Just
I
got one
cut
of the
myself on my knife trying to take a pocket watch apart.
Okay.
Jeez.
So basically, what we're getting at here is Thar is sitting in the corner with one of the teeth he got from the next, and he's whittling away, and he's cut his finger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's whittling with that vibro knife, and he's cut his finger.
So Thar, I'm up in the bridge. I'm seeing a lot of vines. There was some. I came in through a bulk. Someone cut their way into here. So.
Cut the way out.
Did you eat any
In or
bugs?
I did. It was crunchy. Thank you for asking.
Slimy yet satisfying?
I mean, I liked the other one better, but you know. Anyways, is there any way that you could get Lifty up here, or not Lifty,
No.
not Lifty, the other one, or not?
How do you want me to do that?
Could you like tie him? He's on the clamp, right? So if you could like tie him to the rope and have him ascend.
Well, you
Can I
have the
ascend
ascension
this
pistol
You
now.
have the pistol, though.
So
You're
you have to
holding the pistol
drop it.
and the rope.
Yeah, you have to drop it back down.
Oh, I did that? I thought I just climbed the rope.
No, that's the
No,
athletics check.
that's why it was athletics.
Right.
You held on to the pistol, and it pulled you up.
And you said there was no ill effects to that bug. Okay, I'm just
wanna
going to
just
examine
search the
what's
bridge?
going on. Yeah, I'm just going to search without the extra perception.
So honestly, it's just an easy perception check.
Okay. Easy perception.
It's really not hard to search. There's not much to.
Holy cow.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
You still.
It's
find
really
nothing.
not hard to search.
You find nothing, but part of the bridge kind of starts to creak as you move towards the outer edge, and part of the wall just kind of collapses and falls off, and you hear it eventually, a few seconds later, splash into the lake below.
Oh, God.
And you take 2 strain. But no, you don't find anything on the bridge. As far as you can tell, it's been stripped completely. Anything that was useful here is long gone.
Okay. This was a waste of time, guys. I'm coming back down. How do I get back down?
You would have to attach
Just
it.
jump, I'll catch you.
No.
Duck and roll, baby.
Clunk. All right, I'm going to attach the rope to where I'm
And just-
standing and sort of rappel down back to where I
Yep.
was.
So that you can use. That will just be that will be the daunting coordination check. to get back down.
Okay. Is there any other opportunity?
Actually, I would say it's only hard coordination because you're going down. It's a bit easier, and your coordination's not that bad. You'll be fine.
As I'm doing this, if I don't die,
See, you're fine.
okay. More strain.
As you disconnect the
Or did you break my foot?
as you disconnect the ascension thing. You turn off its magnetic clamp and disconnect it, and it comes sliding back down. It catches on something, and you give it a tug, and it pulls, and then a huge piece of metal just collapses down, smashes into the turbo lift that's just where you are, basically just below, and just fills the hole. Like the dust and rust goes everywhere, and it looks
Dust
like you
and
can't
rust.
climb. You can't climb that turbo lift shaft anymore. So if you want to return to the bridge, you'd have to get to it from the air.
All right, so I'm going to take that as a narrative sign that there's nothing up there at all.
Or the real question: did you break my pistol?
No, your pistol's
pistol's
fine.
fine.
Here,
The
you can
pistol's
have it
fine.
back.
All right.
I hand that back to Thar. But is that just going up, or is there a down to that turbo lift shaft?
There is no longer a down because it is now full with rubble.
But there was a down before.
The down before had a turbo lift in the way.
Okay.
You maybe could have moved it out of the way with a charge or something.
Was it
or
moved
some
out of the
kind
way with the collapse?
It doesn't appear to be. No, it's the turbo lift appears to be wedged in the shaft.
You got one of those charges on you, little man?
I do. I have two.
Just slap one down there. Slap it on with the might of Zeus.
Those charges. Those are not those charges.
What?
The
It's just detonite.
I have the two
It is
detonite.
not detonite.
I have the two detonite
Oh.
things that Inertial gave me.
They're not detonite. They're
They're
just
not detonite.
blaster packs.
Oh,
Yeah, they're just
They're just
blaster
blaster
packs.
packs.
Well, I mean, I got a frag right here.
you got a frag?
Oh my
You
goodness.
can try and throw a grenade in there if
Okay,
you want.
I'm gonna try to make some sort of use the frag grenade and the blaster packs to try to fashion some sort of explosive.
Do
to
you
blow
not
this
want to look? Do you not want to look at the map so you know what would be down there if you went down there?
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
Bob coming in with too much reason.
Fine, let's do that. Let's look at the map.
You look at the map. The bridge turbo lift shaft just goes down further into what appears to be a kind of engineering section of the ship, linked to the main guns, which are directly below the bridge.
Does
As
that
far as
sound
you're
interesting?
aware, that will just go down into power cells and droid storage.
Fine, we won't blow shit up yet.
Okay, I'm gonna call IT 3PM basically say that we cleared
The name just gets
we've we've cleared the bridge and we don't see Harsel, or we don't see any other people outside of us. So, is there any other place that we should probably look?
I'm afraid I do not know, sir. Please keep me updated of anything else you find on the ship.
I mean,
So, there are other parts of the ship that were crashed as well. They're a bit further away from us, but we could look through.
Technically, you've
some of those
only
other-
looked at a small part of the ship so far. I mean, it's a big
Exactly.
ship. You look down
Yeah.
there's still just the area you are in right now. Like, you can go further back down. There was the corridor leading in the other direction that you didn't go down.
This section has the vault in it, right?
yeah.
So the section you're in currently has the sorry, the section you're in currently, you headed towards the bridge. You go the opposite direction, you'll be heading towards the vault.
All right. Do you want to head towards the vault then?
I think heading towards the vault's the best idea here.
Do we need to
Yeah.
push Thar down that slight incline that he had such trouble getting?
I'm about to push you out this fucking whole ship in a second, you little man.
Why are you so angry at me?
I'm sorry. It's just that one time I got ran over by that Klatooinian, and it's really resonated.
But you've only
At
been
least you
mean to
asked.
me. But Waldron did that.
He's got a pickle for a face. I'm sorry.
Hey, this pickle's considered cute in my species.
Bro, you gross.
You don't get charm +4 with him.
Yeah.
It's like just a sad pug.
A single tear.
It's not that anyone thinks it's cute. It's that they feel sorry for you.
Oh, just take him to the vet and have him put down.
Let's head off towards the...
Okay, we're heading towards the vault.
Okay, you head back towards the you head back towards the corridor you were in previously and make your way in the opposite direction, which essentially leads towards the darkness, towards the vault, towards the bottom of the lake. As you move forward, part of a large section of the deck is missing, and you can just see it falling away below you, and there's a small waterfall streaming through the hole with rust creeping across the metal floor plating. Could you make an average coordination check, everybody, to get across this decking? And it has to be coordination because you're balancing across.
Well, somebody about to fall tonight.
Okay, just barely. Well, I say barely with a triumph. So the two threats are that the waterfall splashes all over you, gets your fur wet, and you take 2 strain.
Yuck.
Look at this.
That's why I never shower. Or bathe in any way.
Oh,
What was
no.
the triumph for?
Yeah, what did you do with the triumph there, Buzz?
The scanners that have been attached to Arnott have been going while we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fat loot?
I don't know that I want fat loot, but if there's any sign of life that I could have picked up from maybe...
It does seem like there's some life forms around nearby.
anything that looks strangely humanish instead of just a little
Definitely
rat.
Definitely not human, no. There's nothing showing up as a human life sign on the security scanners.
Okay.
Definitely nothing clone-shaped, which is what they're optimized to detect.
Anything Arcanian shaped or bulge shaped?
Nope. Nope. As far as you can tell, there's just local wildlife of various kinds.
Okay. Anything that looks Nexui?
There are some things which look like they could be larger and more dangerous.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Not immediately near you, but maybe coming towards you. Anyway,
could
Thar
I-
has fallen. What was
Yeah,
your-
we need to get back
Yeah.
to that. Hold on a minute.
Sorry, what's Walden suggesting here?
I was going to suggest, before everybody started rolling really fast, I was going to flip a destiny point to have some, like, as that stuff was creaking about, like a wire would come down so that Thar could rope across instead of trying to carry himself across.
Too late.
Yeah, but it's too late now.
Too late now. Instead, Thar is currently hanging on with his good hand to the narrow spar of decking that is coming across that Vuz so happily skipped along. And so, you're just kind of hanging on. The drop below you looks to be quite long and will probably result in a loud splash.
Please!
So if anyone wants to help Thar, now would be the time.
Yeah, I'll see if I can reach out to him.
I'll lend a hand.
Okay, so it's going to be an average athletics check to grab onto his bad hand and pull him up.
Okay. And are you assisting? Okay, that's what we can do.
Yep, and of course you're a little afraid still, Walden, so especially with, Vuz saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm picking up all these creatures on the scanners."
Anybody want to pet a kitty?
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
With that 2 advantage, could he perhaps be able to draw his ascension pistol for a final shot?
yes, I'll allow that. I'll allow that. You have to let go of Thar's hand. You're not strong enough to pull him up, but it gives him enough momentum to grab his ascension pistol. What does Thar do with his ascension pistol?
I'm going to shoot it to where I was intending to go all along.
Okay, you blast it off towards there and turn on the automatic reel. And could you make an average athletics check to hold on to it?
Oh, no.
It's okay, your athletics is good. You have a setback? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
That's cutting it fine there.
Two
That's
Indiana
cutting it
Jones for
fine.
me.
Just sweat pouring off the Ithorian. Okay, so anyway, after that wonderful display, Walden and Vernon, do you want to try and make it across this decaying rusty gap?
You can go ahead, Vernon.
What
You know,
was
it's
the
like
difficulty?
it's like those bits in Fallen Order where he's cutting up the ship, except you're not Jedi.
What was the difficulty?
Just average.
That's what you
Coordinate-
think. Buzz ignites
coordination.
his lightsaber.
No, look, you can call it that, but it doesn't glow.
He
There
has
we
to make
go.
the woo noise.
Vernon happily makes it across, and Walden, your carry, you've still got R0 in the clamp on your back.
So additional difficulty.
Yep, that's going to be hard coordination check.
Bye, Waldern.
Nope.
Bye.
What would you like to do with your 2 advantage? If you want to remain on the wrong side of this gap, that's completely fine.
Okay. I attempt to scurry across, see the bottom, have a extreme sense of vertigo, and walk my way right back.
Do you want to do your
Arnold just
Destiny
goes,
point
"Woo."
plan now?
Well, the athletic stuff, I don't want to.
Yeah, swinging across on a rope will not be any easier for Walden.
No, it'd actually be much more difficult.
So you can try and have Vuz talk you a longer way around through some other corridors. It'll just take you some time to catch up with the rest of the party.
Okay, time
We
for me to
look
jack
for-
in. Do you want to do that?
Hey, yeah, I'm going to try and play it off as, hey, Arnot's super scared about falling to his death. So I'm gonna oblige him. If you could walk me around another direction, that'd be great.
Arnott
For Arnott's
disapprovingly
sake, of
tweedles at. Okay. If you go back, then left, then right, then up, then left, then right again, then back left, then up, then left, then right, then down, you'll be here.
My God.
I got the first one.
I said back, then left, then right, then up, then right again, then left, then up, then left,
Did we
then
just
right,
drop
then
him?
down, then back. Then you'll be here.
Meanwhile, while Walden is doing that, could who has the best vigilance of
Vernon.
of the 3?
Yeah, 2 proficiency.
I have 3 ability,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, so 2 proficiency, and that's going to be, what is that? Okay.
Well, does 2
So-
proficiency beat 3 ability? I mean, I don't know how the math works.
I would say I would allow a joint check there. And then you guys.
Wait, what is this?
Wait, whoa, where'd the 4 come from?
Oh, don't worry. The
No, the
Pay no
ability.
attention.
that's just a thing that's happening.
Oh, this is not our roll.
No, this is not your roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, bad
Oh,
bad
this is
news.
comforting.
Bad news indeed. With a vicious roar, a blur of metal and fur erupts from the darkness of the wreckage. 4-legged creatures, all teeth and claws, leap at you. In a split second, you realize they're powerful Nexu. Worse, they appear to be cybernetically enhanced. All sport metal-reinforced claws
sorry, what?
and some sort of armored helmet or cap and collar. The claws of one Nexu crackle with white blue energy against the ground as it lands after each leap. Another flashes a radiant grin with polished metal teeth. The last and largest appears to have had its prehensile double tail plated in interlocking scale armor that terminates in a spiked club on each tail end. And that is where we're leaving the session for today.
Thar, do you have that head on you? Pretend to be one. All right.
Oh my God.
So
It's on the ship. I don't know what you're talking about.
So thanks for watching, everyone. We will be back exploring the Nar Shaddaa in a few weeks, I'm assuming. There is holiday stuff going on, so I
I'm
don't
happy
know.
to do it next week.
Is next week an option for ladies and gentlemen's?
I'll be able to do
Next
next
week's
maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe Thar gets killed horrifically.
All right. So
shall
I mean, it could happen.
So we'll let you know, but we'll tentatively schedule it for next Sunday when we are pushed back over that edge into despair by giant metal fucking thundercats.
Don't blame me. Blame Fantasy Flight Games.
I do. Ooh, that's a good idea.
These cybernetic nexi weren't my idea. They're a brilliant idea, but they weren't my idea.
All right. Well,
We stripped the ship apart to give them robot arms.
their heads have been replaced with turbo lasers.
Yes.
Get fucked. All right. But yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for joining me, crew and GM. See you next time. Good night.